Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. The views and opinions expressed in this video and on UME Radio YouTube channel are those of the host and or the guests and do not necessarily reflect the opinion of UME Radio YouTube channel.
Weekends on UME Radio. Get the UME Radio app.
Are you ready for the weekend?
Oh, yes, girl. Get your cup of tea and mic check, 1, 2. I am so ready.
To inspire, motivate, and educate. Weekends on UME Radio. The sun is up and so are we.
News, interviews, hot topics. Connect with us. Let us know what's on your mind. Follow, comment, subscribe.
We're everywhere. UME Radio app, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, iTunes, TuneIn, and all other digital platforms. Email us info@umeradio.com. On WhatsApp, 201-503-6731. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, all at UME Radio. Follow me, Jesse, on Instagram at ink.jess, that's ink.jess, and on Facebook at Jesselyn Abel, that's JESSELYNE Abel, ABEL.
And follow me, Marsha J, on all social media platforms at official Marsha J. Or you can just check out marshajnow.com.
Weekends on UME Radio with Marsha J and Jesse.
Amplifying the voice of positive influencers.
UME Radio. Positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.
Good morning.
Morning. Hey.
Hey, with Weekends with Marsha J and Jesse on UME Radio right now. I have DJ KTE in the house. He's with us. Thank you
indeed.
for
How are you?
joining.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to be here. How you doing this morning, Jesse?
I'm good. How are you? How was your week?
It was interesting because I thought school started on Friday, the 10th, but it was the 9th. It was the 9th. And I said, let me just do a double check. And when I did, I realized that it was the 9th. So I had to, I had to rearrange some of my schedule.
Rearrange some stuff. Yeah, I totally forgot about first day of school. I think the whole pandemic just shifted everyone.
I know.
On my way to work, I'm like, why is there so much traffic? Because I don't have a car. I'm like, why is there so much traffic? This won't take that long. And then I see kids, and I'm like, why are there kids? And I'm just like, oh, all right.
Yep. Yes, indeed. More when school opens, more traffic. That's what it works.
I know. I gotta plan ahead now.
Yeah. So how was your week overall?
Overall, it was good. It wasn't a bad week. I liked it.
Yeah, I see the locks going on there. That's pretty cool.
My locks are growing. They're growing. I gotta show them off a little bit.
I think I'm gonna start mine soon. See what happens. See how far it grows.
You gonna grow it back out? Okay. All right, guys. So welcome to UME Radio Weekends with Marsha J and Jesse. We have our host KTE with us, where we share stories, engage in conversation, gain insight into issues affecting our communities in New York, Caribbean, and Africa. And we want to say, wow, the curtains are coming down on this season. Today will be the very last day we introduce the show this way. How do you feel about that, Keith?
There's something about life that I find that's very interesting. And life is full of changes, and there's a constant changing going on. But I feel that as things change and morph into different things, I'm always in expectancy of great things or greater things to happen, and so we have to always remember that life is always constant change. And I think that's it's seasonal, and I think that's purpose is in play. And we as faith people who believe also that we have a destiny and a purpose have to be open to how the Creator moves us around and have us in different places, different time, different seasons. So it's all a part of the plan, the master plan.
Right.
But it's bittersweet. But at the end of the day, we are thankful that we're here. so many didn't even make it to see today. Died over the last year. So we're alive. Let's make the best of it, and encourage each other in whatever our purpose or endeavor we embark upon, So that's how I look at it. Yeah.
Yes, I want to say to our viewers and our listeners who may not have heard your voice or the first time seeing you, because I know you and I just went off talking to you. This is DJ KTE. He is also one of our hosts on our awesome show, Let's Talk Relationships on UMERADIO. That is on Monday nights at 9 p.m. So guys, check out our other show there. And, I love the show. And it gets really hot and heavy.
Well, thank you.
Really interesting topics. So just wanted to shout you out.
Yeah, we're going to some very interesting topics, of course. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I always love we always love the response we get, from the viewers.
I just was about to say that. Letters coming in.
Yep, and nothing beats impacting lives. That's what we're about here.
I know.
And guess what? I love your show. I watch it every Saturday morning. By the way, I love your show. Yes, I do. I love it here. So to be here now is like, woo! I'm honored, man. I'm like, wow.
I know. We want to say a big thank you to all of our partners, subscribers. You guys are amazing. Our supporters, listeners, viewers from all around the world. Thank you so much. And today will be a special show. We'll be sharing some of our favorite segments from when we first began, reflecting on what it has been like serving you in this capacity and why. Because today we will say goodbye to an era. Yes, we want to say thank you to Marsha J as she leaves the show to carry on doing great things, and we'll talk more about this throughout the show. It is September 11th, 2021, and the time is now 8 o'clock in the morning. Lest we forget, it's 9/11, and we like to share this poem in remembrance of that day. Look at Marsha J just came in. Hey, Marsha.
Yes, she's here.
Hey, Marsha. I love it. You are so beautiful. Look, we're kind of matching. I mean, the same, shirt.
Right?
Yeah.
Something planned going on there. Something was planned going on there. I see.
No, nothing planned. We have a connection, Keith, okay?
I know. Hi, DJ KCE. Good morning.
Hey, morning. How are you? Good to have you.
Hey, guys. So before we start, I want to share the poem real quick in remembrance of 9/11. And I'm just going to read it off of my screen here. It is called How My Life Has Changed by Hillary North. I can no longer flirt with Lou. I can no longer dance with Myra. I can no longer eat brownies with Susan Y. I can no longer meet the deadline with Mark. I can no longer talk to George about his daughter. I can no longer drink coffee with Rich. I can no longer make a good impression to Chris. I can no longer smile at Paul. I can no longer hold the door open for Tony. I can no longer confide in Lisa. I can no longer complain about Gary. I can no longer work on a project with Donna R. I can no longer get to know Yolanda. I can no longer call the client with Nick. I can no longer contribute to the book drive organized by Karen. I can no longer hang out with Millie. I can no longer give career advice to Susan P. I can no longer laugh with Donna G. I can no longer watch Mary Ellen cut through the bullshit. I can no longer drink beer with Paul. I can no longer have a meeting with Dave W. I can no longer leave a message with Andrea. I can no longer gossip with Anna. I can no longer run into Dave P. at the vending machine. I can no longer call Steve about my computer. I can no longer compliment Lorenzo. I can no longer hear Herman's voice. I can no longer trade voicemails with Norman. I can no longer ride the elevator with Barbara. I can no longer be happy about Jennifer's pregnancy. I can no longer walk with Adam. I can no longer say hello to Steve every morning. I can no longer see the incredible view from the 103rd floor of the South Tower. I can no longer take my life for granted.
Wow.
Again, guys, this is the poem by Hillary North, and it is called How My Life Has Changed.
Wow.
Powerful. That's very powerful, Jesse. Yeah, and it's really, I don't know, I was reflecting on 9/11 yesterday, and I had a friend that actually saw the planes hit the towers And in reflection, it was really kind of somber and tearful. And I just started to put myself in her shoe, just imagining, because I remember being in school the day that happened.
Same.
And wondering, because we were in like television broadcasting class, and somebody stopped the class and say, "Hey, turn on CNN." And then I was like, is that like a movie? Because it was so unreal, seeing people jumping out of buildings. And I saw when the second plane hit, and I was like, OMG. And then just listening to the stories after that, and even in reflection of this poem, you know, it's really a powerful sentiment. Really is.
I remember I remember it like everyone says, like yesterday, but literally like yesterday, I was 7. And as everyone remembers, that day was like, as far as weather-wise, was the perfect day you could probably ask
Yeah,
for.
it was. Yeah, it really was.
And I was 7, and all the teachers out of nowhere left the classroom. And I went to a Christian private school. All the teachers were Caribbean. So they all just left and went to some room. And we're just like, what's going on? We didn't have phones or anything like that. And we somehow got the news, and they called some parents, and everyone's like a community. So they all like dropped the kids off, you know, because he had some parents go to work. And my 7-year-old brain was just like, is my dad okay? Because I knew he worked in the city, but I did not know location. I know that he could see the towers from his job, but I didn't know location or anything to that factor. So I was like, is daddy okay? And is mommy okay? But mommy was at home pregnant. And my brother said she was okay. But it was just shocking. And I actually, years later, about like 5 years, no, more than that, I used to work at a law firm that paid compensation for the victims of 9/11. You would hear stories. What they're doing is absolutely amazing, and they're in the news all the time. But yeah, that day lives in everyone's memory.
Definitely, and we definitely want to whisper prayers and for the strength of those who carry on even after 9/11 and still have the heartache of remembering the day. For sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it was a day indeed. A day indeed. So, you know, it's funny because we had like a meeting in my school. You know, we made that circle and we expressed, you know, what we're looking forward to this year and how we kind of, I guess, unwind or relax over the summer. And I said, really, I realized that family is the most important thing. And I realized that those moments that you have with your family and your close friends are so vital that we can't anymore take it for granted. You know, life is very short, and whatever we do, you know, we have to remain in purpose and authentic, and know that, listen to me, you know what, love is really the key and the most important thing that we can receive and give to our fellow human beings. So I'm always grateful just to be alive, you know. Yeah, so yeah, powerful poem. Definitely powerful.
Yeah, most definitely. I want to say, and I don't want to let go of this somber moment right here, but we do want to say thank you guys for all of our supporters and listeners, and to remember, if you guys feel supported by our show, whether you guys say it or not, or acknowledge it, that we inspire, we educate, we motivate you, to remember to subscribe, like, share, and click that notification bell when we go live, so you guys don't miss a new upload of our video. And remember to listen or to watch this or other episodes later on. You can also listen to UMERADIO on all major digital platforms, including our app you could get on the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
Yes.
Also get it on iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Google, Podbean, TuneU, Spotify, Stitcher, Player FM, and Listen Notes.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, let's get into our devotion intro for today.
All right. So our daily bread this morning, we want to thank our dailybread.com. And today's topic is from wisdom to joy.
Our topic is, guys, from wisdom to joy.
For today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread Devotional. Our reading is titled From Wisdom to Joy, and it was written by Patricia Rabin. The phone rang and I picked it up without delay. Calling was the oldest member of our church family, a vibrant, hard-working woman who was nearly 100 years old. Putting the final touches on her latest book, she asked me some writing questions to help her cross the finish line. As always, however, I soon was asking her questions about life, work, love, family. Her many lessons from a long life sparkled with wisdom. She told me, pace yourself. And soon we were laughing about times she'd forgotten to do that. Her wonderful stories all seasoned with true joy. Wisdom leads to joy, the Bible teaches. Proverbs 3:13 says, joyful is the person who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding. We find that this path from wisdom to joy is a biblical virtue indeed. For wisdom will enter your heart and knowledge will fill you with joy, says Proverbs 2:10. God gives wisdom, knowledge, and joy to those who please him, says Ecclesiastes 2:26. Wisdom will guide you down delightful paths, adds Proverbs 3:17. Reflecting on the matters of life, author C.S. Lewis declared that joy is the serious business of heaven. The path there, however, is paved with wisdom. My church friend, who lived to be 107, would agree. She walked a wise, joyful pace to the King. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Proverbs chapter 3, verses 13 through 18. Blessed are those who find wisdom, those who gain understanding, for she is more profitable than silver and yields better returns than gold. She is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand. In her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who take hold of her. Those who hold her fast will be blessed. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for making us wiser as we grow closer to you. Fill our hearts with joy as your Spirit guides us in wisdom and we reflect your love to the world around us. May our lives become trees of life that lead many to you. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Wow.
Beautiful encouragement from wisdom to joy.
And we have a comment from every entertainer said powerful and true. Yes.
Definitely. All right. So coming up in our show today, we'll be looking at what's happening on the front page of the New York Times, the CARICOM News, and top stories in Africa, followed by our favorite episodes of Because of You We Can. And we're going to be looking at Kimono Brownlow's interview, Entertainment Now with Miss Ariana White, and Voice of Truth with Laszlo Heckler. So also coming up, 8 strategies to create a wealth mindset and 9 benefits of ASMR. So you want to stay tuned. You do not want to miss today's recap episode. And now for the news.
The New York Times.
Right, guys. Yeah, I'll be reading the New York Times on the front page. I'm going to read this off my computer here, so bear with me. But it says, after the death of U.S. troops last month, 13 new flags were added as the Global War on Terror memorial near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. And that's the caption of the picture right ahead. We have, in Shanksville, a field of flags for all the fallen where Flight 93 went down, memorials beyond 9/11. A war rages on in the shadows. Afghan exit didn't end fight with extremists. We have Biden's orders deepen conflicts over vaccines. GOP vows legal fight. 11 times as likely to die without shots. President tells rivals to have at it. We have a picture here, an all-teenage final. Emma R., 18 on the left, and Leyla Fernandez, 19, will meet for the U.S. Open title. Let me scroll down. We have evidence disputes U.S. claim of ISIS bomb in Kabul drone strike. Analysis of video cast doubts about events. And last but not least, ruling loosens Apple's grip on billions from App Store. And guys, that is the hot topics on the front page of the New York Times. What's going on in the Caribbean?
Oh, we want to say a big thank you to today.caricom.org for today's front page news. And so we go over to that. So CARICOM African leaders identify areas of cooperation at historic first summit. And we dived a little bit into that last week. Awesome stuff. Prime Minister Mitchell to launch CARICOM Digital Skills Task Force on September 15. DSG Ambassador Manorma Soikandan demits office. Barbados Prime Minister announces new revised protocol to slow the spread of the virus. FAO calls for more investment in small-scale farming in Haiti. CXC announces 3-tiered approach to the release of exam results. Climate action. Guterres hails Latin America and Caribbean leadership. Great economic potential between CARICOM and Africa, Prime Minister Holness. Prime Minister Brown wants cohesive regional security. And CARICOM exports in cultural and creative services. And below that, we have some other news that's there. We have CARICOM at work. And we went through some of those already. OECS Solar Dialogue highlights importance of decentralized renewable energy to reach climate goals in the Eastern Caribbean. And CARICOM harmonizing approach to technical barriers to trade regulations. Over in personality, Jamaica has lost a great pioneer in music. Book on AMB Lucille Marthurian Mayer presented to Jamaica Foreign Affairs Minister. History-making Prime Minister Mia Mottley has monumental plans for Barbados. UWI congratulates new Prime Minister of St. Lucia. CARICOM SG hails Bermuda gold medalist, spectacular achievement. And lastly, in depth, we have building a trade and investment relationship with rising Africa. Climate weather-related disasters surge 5-fold over 50 years, but early warning saves WMO report. Non-traditional exports. Knee-deep in COVID-19 stricken economy. Why should the Caribbean accelerate investment in sustainable energy. And last, where have our traditional agricultural exports gone? So these are the stories making the front page of the Caribbean news. And now we go over to Africa. I want to say a quick thank you to africanews.com for today's stories. Justin, we have women champions of development in Sahel, Inspire Africa. Former Ivorian PM Charles Konan Bani dies at 78. Zimbabwe magistrate rules Mugabe should be reburied. Rights groups cautious over military takeover in Guinea. South Africa-based entrepreneur creates app to simplify funeral plannings. Sinovac opens global pediatric vaccine trial in South Africa. Tigray forces accused of mass killing. Over 1,200 civilians killed in 2 DR Congo provinces this year. Zambia's new leader vows zero tolerance on corruption. Nigeria extends telecom blackout. Arrest high-profile Boko Haram member. 4 separationists sentenced to die in troubled Cameroon. Over Congolese, Surgeon Mukwege seeks International Criminal Court to tackle impunity. Nambian teenager Mboma storms Diamond League debut. All right. And so these are some of the stories that we have making the front page of the Africa News. Yeah. And that's it, guys, for the news this morning. Wow.
A lot is going on. A lot is going on.
Yes.
You want to say that every week we put the spotlight on an individual, organization, or group that is making a difference in other people's lives. This segment that's going to come up, Because of You We Can, is where we feature the efforts of those in our community who seek to empower those around them through acts of kindness, program implementation, and other Girl, I can't talk today. Philanthropic efforts. Philanthropic efforts. We are so excited to share with you an interview that we have had with none other than Apostle Dr. Faith Walters, author of the book Reborn. Sorry about that. We are going to share our favorite past episode of Kimono Brownlow.
A whole new level. But I'm grateful. Say that again.
I had issues. Oh, we have some technical difficulty, guys. Don't worry, we got this.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
So we're just waiting on the video to pull up, guys.
Waiting. It's coming. Yeah. Saturday morning in New York. Yeah.
While it's coming. Oh, I think we got it.
Yeah, but I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you?
There you are. Yes.
Okay. Good. Wonderful. I am there. Okay. Wonderful. Trying to maneuver this season with technology, I'm telling you, boy, it's a whole new level. I'm grateful. Say that again.
I had issues too myself this morning.
Listen, girl, I'll be over here trying to be great, but this thing won't let me be great. Okay. But good morning, Marsha. Good morning, Jesse. Good morning to you, world. And thank you guys so much for having me this morning.
Yes, and we're super excited to have you here to share with us this morning. But before we begin, let me just say, guys, UME Radio, that Kimono is a new mom. I love kids. And we just want to say congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you so much.
And I know what your testimony behind it. We might not get a chance to get into that today.
Yes.
But I'm so excited for you. You would not believe,
Thank you so much.
Excitement and so on. But for those who are not very acquainted with Kimono Brownlow Ministries, talk to us about what your ministry is about.
Okay, well, Kimono Brownlow Ministry is a variety of things. I am very multi-talented, and so because of that, I am trying not to be the man with one talent and hide it under a bushel, but to be the one with five and trying to gain more. With that being said, I started out singing at the tender age of 9, and then after that, I've entered many competitions, been trained by different my different teachers in high school and in college. And then I went to the JCDC, that's the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, entered the competition, same competition that Marsha J would have entered. Didn't win, but I capitalized on what it is that I was able to get from that competition, the experience, the platforms, the people that I met. I even met my husband there. Icing on the cake. So yeah, from there I've been singing. I've produced my husband and I, we've recently produced my sophomore album, I Choose. Before that, I did an album with my cousin Dale Haslam, Lift Him Up Volumes 1 and 2. So I have 3 albums on the market, and I am currently working on a third. I've recently written a book. But before I go there, let me talk about just the different things that the Lord has me doing. So I did a Be Real for Real conference. I'm not sure if you're seeing my t-shirt. I'm wearing that this morning. It's a women empowerment conference that I've done since 2017. And it's been powerful. 2021 is the year we're going to relaunch that. And I'm currently doing mentorship and coaching, and that's been interesting. I started that this year, and it's really growing. Persons are being blessed. I was coaching just before I came on here. My mentees are doing extremely well, and so I've written this devotional, I Choose, and it's action and reaction. It's really about helping persons to make the right choices. And I feel like when you wake up in the morning, you have to make a choice on what your day is going to be. I was listening to John Maxwell's Today Matters, and as he was in the book, he was talking about this blind woman. She was legally blind, and she was walking towards her room. She had just sold her house and moving into an old age apartment. And while the nurses were leading her to the room, the old lady, the nurse asked her, was telling her about the curtains and the color of the room and so on, because she's legally blind. And she said, wow, it's beautiful, I like it already. And the nurse said, but you haven't even seen it yet. She says, you have to decide on what perspective you're going to have. So it's not about the room, but it's a perspective of the room. And so because of that, I have written this book to help people to wake up early, choose what your day is going to be, choose love, choose joy, choose peace, choose to seek righteousness, choose to seek the face of God, and choose to believe what He has said. And with that being said, when you set the temperature for your day, then you are definitely going to experience a wonderful day. And so that's what the devotional is really about. It's helping persons to make the right choice, because your decisions today really does matter for tomorrow.
Awesome. Let me ask you this: why mentorship? Because I know you could be doing like so many other things, but I know that it's a big part of your heart. But why mentorship?
Well, okay, so I started Choosers Nation in 2017. And actually, I started long before that. Vera and Shauna, Marsha, and they've been with me for maybe over 10 years. And these two girls, I've worked with them. I know from my life experience they've been around me for a year, and I have learned so much from them, and they have learned a lot from me. And I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. My testimony would take a whole day to explain to you what God has delivered me from. So because of all that I did in my life, and all the experiences I have, just going through different challenges and different things like that, I feel that to the conversation. And I didn't always feel that way. When I a voice to speak into the lives of persons, and I feel like change doesn't happen from an event. Change from a real action, as we learn of that. I've seen we're just constantly in conversation with my girls, talking to them over and over about the same things, sometimes correcting them about the same things. Veronica is now a nurse and a teacher, and Shauna is the manager of a store, and she's doing extremely well, getting ready to purchase her house and do different things. She's moving up the ladder, and I've seen so I to mentor and coach just because I felt like it. I know it's a call from the Lord. Done the research. I've seen that I do have something to add to the conversation, and with that, I just stepped out. I got certified because I was doing it because I'm anointed, but I believe that the next level for me would have been wonderful Bishop McLean, pastor and founder of Worship and Faith International Fellowship in Spanish Town and Fort Lauderdale. He started a mentorship program wide to win DNA coaching, and so I got mentor coach and registered and with him, and then from there I stepped out. Choosers Nation, because I originally started with 2 girls, then I moved it to 12 girls, and those 12 girls are doing extremely well. So I have the testimonies. I have the testimonies to show that mentorship does work and that my approach works as well. My girls are doing extremely well. There's so much I could tell you, but yeah. So I stepped out this year and expanded Choosers Nation. So I'm now doing Choosers Nation, Grow, Choosers Nation, Inspire, and I'm getting ready to do another mentorship course called Help, I'm Becoming a Wife. So yeah, I'm doing a lot in this.
I love it. I absolutely love it. We're going to talk about your book in a second, but just to kind of close off on the mentorship aspect of it, for persons who are interested in being coached by you, being mentored by you, how can they connect with you?
You can send me an email at choosersnation.com, and then from there you are able to connect with me, and I can give you all the information that you will need to be coached and mentored by me. So that's choosersnation@gmail.com, and you can reach out to me there, and I will speak to you from there, and we'll get you set up for the mentorship course.
Awesome.
It's pretty easy.
Great. All right. So let's segue into the book. And it's up on the screen now. For those who are listening on UMERADIO.com, I really like the graphics. I like everything about the book. Let's just say that. If you want to see
you believe that that's my husband's speech?
Really?
Yes, it is. That's Dale's
Good morning, Dale. I'm not sure he's in the vicinity or if he is watching. Good morning. I love how he supports you. Really and truly. I love how he's, and we need to get you guys on LTR. That's a whole relationship show, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But talk to us about this book. I know it's a companion to the album I Choose.
Yes.
But tell us some more about this book. What else did you have to say outside of the album? Why you had to write?
As I was saying, that change doesn't happen with an event. And I mean, though the album is something that lives on, I feel like it needed a brother or a sister. And so I added this to the conversation because, people there are different people in the world that like different things. Some people like to read, some people learn from the music, so on and so forth. So adding this book to the collection of I Choose, which is not the only thing I'll be doing, I'll also be doing other things, and that's to come. But adding this devotional is really to help persons, as I was saying before, to choose, to help you to be a chooser, because I believe that the only thing that we really have left in this life is our choice. Because wrong is right today and right is wrong, and everybody is deciding what they are going to be, even though they were created with a body that already told them what they are. So in this season, it's really about choice, and it's helping parents to choose, it's helping young people to choose, kids to choose who they are going to be and who they are going to serve. Joshua said when he was about to shut his eye and leave this earth, he said, you can do what you want to do. Choose he this day whom you're going to serve. But as for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. And so standing on the choice that I've made, my husband and I, to serve Jesus Christ, that choice has opened, just different things for us to be able to impact the world and impact people's lives. And so I want to raise up a nation of choosers. I want to raise up a nation of people who are going to choose right, who are going to choose Jesus, who are going to choose to raise their children with the right moral standards, who are going to choose to carry on the gospel of Jesus Christ and do what it is that's going to make a difference in this world. And so my desire is to raise my daughter as a chooser, because that's all we have left. There is everything in the world that's presented to us that looks good, and so what the enemy is working at now is to try to eliminate the awareness of immorality and darkness. And so we've got to be sharp in our choosing and be sharp in our decision and direction. And so that's really what the devotional is about. It's I choose action and reaction. I really didn't want it to be like a 30-day journey or a 90-day journey or a 20-day journey. I wanted it to be applicable to any day in your life. And so if you I feel like there is, okay, so last night the Lord spoke to me about starting to read the book of Revelation, and I was like, God, but the book of Revelation is so complicated though. There is just so much to extrapolate from that book. However, he was talking to me about the spirit of revelation. And so even as you are reading the book of Revelation, the power and the presence of God will come over you, and that spirit of revelation is going to come upon you. And I've done it before, and I feel like he's calling me to a new level of revelation, which is, why he's sending me to do that. So with this book, I'm applying the same principle. As you are reading it, the power of choice is going to come upon you. And as you are delving into it, you will be able to choose better and to make better choices, because every day in life, you make a choice. You're making a choice to listen to me right now. You're making a choice to be a part of this live stream. And so you make choices every day. You choose what you're going to eat. You choose what you're going to drink. I was listening to Dr. Caroline Leaf. She is a neurologist and also a motivator. Yes. And she was saying that we can go 30 days without food, 3 days without water, but we cannot go 3 seconds without thinking. The book of 2 Corinthians 10 and verse 5 tells us that we have to cast down every imagination and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God and bring them under subjection to the Holy Spirit. And so when it comes to that, it's about choosing. If you can't go 3 seconds without thinking, then you're going to have to make a choice what it is that you're going to focus on. And that's what's been tripping us up, because some of y'all be straight tripping. So that's what's tripping you up. So you've got to learn to make the better choices in life. And so as you delve into this devotional, the spirit of God is going to come upon you, and you're going to be strengthened in the area of your decisions, because there are 3 things in our soul. There is our intellect, there is our emotion, and there is our will. And the will is where we make choices from. But some of y'all be emotional about stuff. Some of y'all are overthinking things. And so you've got to understand that it's really at the end of the day, no matter how you feel about a situation or what you think about a situation, it's what you do with the situation that's going to make the difference. So with that being said, you've got to strengthen your will. You've got to strengthen your power of choice. And this is what this devotional is all about.
And I think it's great to mention that, because a lot of it's that overthinking that would just hold us back to not even do anything. You're just like, you know, I'm just gonna sit here, right here. I'm not gonna make anything. You know, I'm not gonna go yes or no. You're just gonna stay in wherever you are. And you, like you said, we have to make that choice of like, okay, I'm gonna go left, I'm gonna go right. There's no
Exactly. You're driving. You don't have to wonder if you should keep on going or press the gas or press the brakes. You've got to make a quick choice, especially in danger. You've got to decide what you do. And I mean, Sunday, you know, Tina and I were back from Orlando with our 4-month-old baby in the vehicle. The tire blew out. I mean, I'm not talking about a flat tire. I'm talking about a tire that's ripped to shreds. I mean, when that vehicle dropped, let me tell you something, Jesse, I felt everything in my heart moved. I'm thinking about my husband. I'm thinking about my daughter. What's going to happen? I was driving, so I made the choice to step on the brake. And that wasn't the right choice. And the Holy Spirit was like, ease up. And when I eased up, the vehicle ran and then it stopped. But if I didn't make choice to listen to, that was giving me a choice. I'd probably not be here if I probably would have been under. So imagine the worst, and that is exactly what would have happened. So it's all about making choices. It's all about the quick response to the Holy Spirit, being able to respond quickly. And so that's what this book is going to help you to do, to make the right choice and to respond with the right choice in good timing. So yeah.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Jesse, I kind of feel like today, starting from the devotional, coming all the way down, we're talking about having relationships and choosing and things like that. I think God is really sending us a really strong message. And no, I did not, even though I produced the program, I did not think about all the connections that were happening today. And it's so on time, especially for us internally as a team, because we had our own discussions about stuff that we're going through and kind of praying and asking God for certain things. And God is just answering through these interviews. And I'm so grateful to have all the guests here, especially you, Kimono, who's just breaking it down at this moment, you know, in the whole conversation about choosing, because choice, it's a very critical thing. And I've been caught in the web personally of not being able to choose quick enough or choose at all, because you're saying, okay, God, is it that I'm not hearing you? Is it that you spoke already? So you don't need to speak again. You know, so there's so many things. So,
and on the back end too is like living through the choices you've made. You know what I mean? So you make a choice, and then, you know, and a lot of us, we are struggling with our pride. So we make a choice to do something and we just want to prove everybody wrong. So we keep killing ourselves off with, you know, trying to live up to the choice we've already made when there's another choice we can make. And so it's so important that we understand just the fullness of making choices and how other choices affect choices that we would have already made. And just, the Bible says in Proverbs 20 and verse 18 that you should consult before you make decisions, and you should go to war with good guidance. And so a lot of the times we make a choice to do something, but we don't consult before we do it. We end up in a situation, and because of our pride, we don't want to step out of it or do something else. And then we end up, you know, killing ourselves off by trying to please people or whatever it is that we're trying to do, because some of the stuff we're doing don't make sense. But if you've made a choice already, and you have, for example, you know, a man choosing a wife, then he ends up with a knife. What's going to happen when you end up with a knife? I don't know. I was a knife before I was a wife. So y'all wives out there who's struggling with your sharp self, you need to reach out to me, okay? So yeah, so it's just making choices that affect other choices, because the truth is every choice you make is going to affect a choice that you've already made. And so making correct choices in a sequence, you are going to find that as you make another choice and a better choice and another choice and another choice to add to the choice you've already made, you are making progression. But if you go drink tea and then drink a cool cup of water, you're gonna put back the gas. So it's making the right choices and making the follow-up choice that's right after the choice you've made before. So life is all about choices. So you need it. You need this.
Yes, definitely. And I know we're endorsing that you get the devotional. Get the album too, guys.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, and she's
Oh,
about to
yeah.
tell us where to get all this good stuff in one or more places. But before she does that, Kimola, for those persons who have anxiety about waiting on an answer in order to choose, what would you say to them?
Oh, wonderful. So I went to my favorite place last week over the weekend, and that's Disney World. So I was at Disney World. Me and my husband and my sisters, we went on a family vacay. And, I was walking toward, we're at Animal Kingdom, and we were walking towards this ride, and it was taking everlasting to reach there. However, while I was walking, because of COVID-19 and all that stuff, they have stickers on the ground indicating the 6 feet apart. And so while I was walking, all I could see was, please wait here, please wait here, please wait here, please wait here. And I mean, this is over, I don't know, felt like we walked a mile to get to that ride. It was crazy. But all of those stickers were there, hundreds of them, but none of them were applicable to me because I wasn't at the back of the line. I couldn't see anybody in a line moving towards the right. So all of those please wait stickers were not applicable to me until it became applicable. What do I want to say from this? While you're waiting on the Lord, keep it moving. Keep moving towards something. You can't be sitting up under a juniper tree thinking that, okay, I'm waiting on the Lord, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to move out. Whereas you are not going to jump ahead of him on the decision that you're trying to make, you still got to keep it moving. So the Bible said that Elijah got a threat from Jezebel after he did all these wonderful things, went under this juniper tree and curled up, and God said, no, come up to this mountain, let me talk to you. And it was there that God gave him the decisions that he needed to make, to call somebody in his stead, to name Shaphat as king, and so on and so forth. And so what I find is that though you are waiting is a posture. Waiting is a posture. It's a place that you go to in your heart. God, I'm waiting on you for this decision, but while I'm waiting, I'm gonna keep. So if I'm waiting on God to make a decision about something, I'm working on all the other things that He would have given me. Because a lot of the times, and this is why making choices in life, because when you are decision about and take over your whole, no multi-dimensional, you don't have time to just sit down, be thinking about just that alone. For example, if you're making a choice about a husband or a wife, you have other things to do. Come on, you got to go study. You have all other things to do in your life. So while you are waiting on that decision, there are other things that you have to do. And a lot of the times people pause their 100%, squat in one place when the decision you have to make takes up 2% of your life. Come on, guys. So it's knowing where to put your focus, what to focus on. And while God is taking care of that, let me go on over here and take care of this. So it doesn't become applicable until it's applicable. And the next thing is, leave it with God. You can't be asking God to help you to make a choice about it and then trying to rush God about it. No, if He's going to come to raise Lazarus in 4 days, that's when He's going to come. And when He comes, it might seem late, but He's always on time. Being vulnerable with God too, just being able to trust Him, because that word vulnerable really speaks to, it comes from here, which means to wound. Can you hurt your feelings, hurt your ego, and still keep it moving with God? That's what being vulnerable really is. When you trust is one level, but being vulnerable is a whole nother level. I can trust you to take me across the bridge, but can I trust you to drop me and then come get me? And I'm not talking about drop me and catch me. I'm talking about drop me and
Oof,
then
yes.
come get poof. Yeah. And get me. So it's going from level to level. So people to trust God while you're working on all other things. So don't allow the decision that you are waiting on to be made to take up your entire life. Keep it moving with other things until you hear from the Lord about that tiny thing. And sometimes it's so tiny. I don't know.
I want to give I don't know why I just felt led to give a testimony to anyone who is listening, watching. When you said that, I was a job. It's happened 2 separate times, but one of my jobs, I felt in my spirit it was time for me to leave. I knew it was like, and God gave me different roles, and I mentally, physically, emotionally, I was like, I'm done. I gotta go. God, you're telling me this. And he also said, wait, I told you this, but right now is not the to go through it. So I'm working, and I managed to do, and he's like, okay, start applying to jobs now. Start applying to jobs. And I get excited because I got like interview, and offer. And God said, don't take it. I was like, what do you mean I need to leave this place? I had to apply to one job at NYU, and I looked at the credentials, and I said, I was in bed, and I'm just like, I don't know if I should do it. Just do it. And I'm like, I don't think I'm, this is NYU was, I don't think I'm qualified enough. He said, do it. So I did it and forget about it. I didn't think about it until work, whatever. When I tell you guys, not only did I got the job, this was NYU, so I had better benefits than from those 4 places combined. Wow. I had a higher salary than those places that they offered me. And I just how commuting wise of my commute system back and forth, I spent less money commuting if I would have taken another job because it was a little bit further out. Like all of these factors. And I'm just saying this is just one testimony for you guys to just be like, when he's telling you something, don't be afraid to go ahead and just do it. And when he tells you to wait, don't be afraid to go through that waiting season. But still, like you said, I still worked during that, even though I was just
exactly.
Like, I need to leave. I need to leave. You know, people like, how are you, Jesse? I'm like, I'm good. I'm not going to see you guys soon anymore, but I'm good.
Yeah, I really think it's all about, sticking it out, as you said, going through that process, because it's really, really, it's okay. So when we were kids, like, your mom would say, no, don't eat the sweetie yet, or don't do that yet, or whatever. It's hard. And they're training us to grow that part of patience. Let patience have her perfect work, as James said. And it's a hard place for us, because like for me, patience is hard for me because I'm a go-getter. I go. I don't know when to stop. I'm struggling over here. I'd be on vacation and still trying to work. So I need help. But I'm learning the principle of everything affects everything. So my big word this year is commit. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Commit. If I'm feeding my daughter, commit. Because I'm feeding my daughter and I'm thinking about 60 other things that I have to do. So even this book I'm reading, Today Matters, it's really trying to help me to focus and to center on where I am, what I'm doing now. And that's a constant choice I keep having to make, because I realize that everything affects everything. So even the small things, and I'm going to get really gross right now. So when I use the bathroom sometimes, like my husband is a neat freak. I know you're listening to me. Yes, you are. I love you though. And I am not really like, I clean up, but I'm not going to fix the square on the wall until it's fully flushed. I'm just not. So I'd use the bathroom sometimes, and then the roll is done, and I'm like, oh God, I'm not going to change this right now because I have to go in that closet and do this and do that and then change it. And then I just can't bother. But I've started to really focus on just finishing. Even with, I mean, I'm using something as simple as the toilet roll. Some of y'all looking at me funny, but you know you don't change toilet roll. But I I'm using my big word with small things. Commit. And it's offsetting a principle in my life, and it's a ripple effect. Me committing to that small thing is causing me to be able to commit to even bigger things. It's working patience in me because I have to stop what I'm thinking, stop what I'm doing to finish it. So making those small choices are affecting the bigger choices. I'm learning from even doing that self-control. Can I share something with you guys? I don't know how much time we have left. The Lord spoke to me strongly the other day about self-control. And he spoke to me from the angle of me not knowing how to let people go. And so I've got to ask a question. Do you really want to like really be intimate with God? Because God can be rough, you know.
Yeah,
God will hurt your feelings, like big things. So he was like, you are wicked. And that's manipulation. And I'm like, what? I'm trying to win these people back. I don't want to let nobody go, you know, especially because I don't know why. And as a pastor, it's so difficult because when you pastor, people come and people go. And a lot of the times you would have spent so much time working with those people, helping them to go through
building them.
stuff, building them, and then they leave and you're like, what? And they don't even say why, and you don't know why. And so all of that just causes your heart to break and different things like that. And so I'd be sitting down, strategizing, not just with my church, but just my life overall. You know, how am I going to win that person back? I mean, I'm not even mentally aware of what my mind is thinking. My mind is doing this all by itself. And the Lord attacked and shed light in that area of my life, began to speak to me just about that's manipulation. Even though you're thinking that you're trying to do a good thing, it's really not a good thing. It's wicked and it's manipulation. Why? Because I am the one who's moving these people. I'm the one who is telling you to let them go. Usually it would have been harder for me. This season I pray for people and tell them thanks and keep it moving. And I said that because that's like to one end, but it started with the small things, the small choices, learning to actually take the time to do something, which is teaching me patience, which is affecting my self-control, which is affecting my ability to wait on God, because I'm a fast-paced person. So being patient, doing things, taking the time to do them is actually centering me. It's slowing me down, which is good for me because I'm fast. My husband is not as fast as I'm, like the rabbit, and he's the turtle, because I'd say, oh my God, I have this excellent idea. I'm going to go live and talk about it. And he's like, no, Kim, you need to fix your hair. You got to do your makeup. You got to put some clothes on. You can't go on live with your teeth look like that. Go brush your teeth, something. And then I'd be like, so you just have to cut me down like that. But then he'd say, but you're a public figure. There's no way you can go looking like that. And so just little things like that has taught me how to process. You see, we talk about process, but when we look at process, we are thinking just going through a long haul drawn thing.
Step one, step two, step three.
Process that are 5 minutes.
Yeah.
There are some process that are 3 steps. And so just being able to be diligent with the small things in my life. And my daughter is teaching me that, because I've got to change Pampers 12 times a day, feed her every 4 hours now. It's cutting out of, and I'm not saying my daughter is a blessing, so it's not a burden for me to do it, but I've had to learn to schedule my day, my entire day, even at a tighter, well, not tight, but more vulnerable, more room. I had to learn to, because I was from bam, 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 doing things in blocks, but now I've got to learn to do things in circle. So all of that spending time with Gabby, sitting down with her, putting her to sleep, which can take up to half an hour because when she smells that milk in that breast, she's ready to kick, scream, and jump. So all of that is working. Patience is having her perfect work in me. And I'm learning so much from that. That's on a physical scale. No, I'm actually being affected in my spiritual walk with God by just all of what is happening in my life. From Him teaching me self control, which is very important to patience, which is what I need to wait on Him. And so all of that emotion that I would feel when I'm waiting on God and He's not answering me in my time and I want to be big in His face and do what I want to do, those things are slowly dying. And I'm learning not to put my emotions ahead of me and ahead of God and the choice that He's going to make for me, and just learn to quat and trust Him and know that it's going to be okay. I waited for my daughter for 4 years. And when she came, it was a surprise to us. It happened so fast, I didn't even realize now the child is almost 5 months. Marsha, you should hear this child over here busting teeth and all of these things at 4 months, eating pureed carrots. She is a runner too, a runner. So I know that I'm gonna have to work patience in her, because if I take too long to give her that milk, she's kicking and screaming. But I'm learning just by looking at Gabrielle as a mirror for even my life and seeing me in her and seeing all the things that I need to work on so that I can help her to be her best self. Again, I've said a lot of stuff that probably seem disjointed, but at the end of the day, everything affects everything.
True. And I mean, we're over our time, but I had to let you speak because I know for me, I am gleaning so much from what you're saying, you know. So before we go this morning, tell us again how we can connect and have access to these resources. Tell us about your podcast, where we listen to it, things like that.
All right, so here's the simplest way that you can connect with Kimono Brownlow. Go to my Instagram page. It's at Kimono Low, and click the link in the bio, and that will pull up all of everything that I have. My podcast, my book, my songs, everything is linked in my bio. So that's the easiest way. So one door leads to many doors. So
Awesome stuff, Jesse. I think you're muted, Jesse. As usual. Yes.
It is. There we go.
That was our Because of You Weekend segment with Kimono Brownlow, talking about the power of choice. Very, very wow.
I needed to have that repeat. It was like perfect for what's going on still with different choices. And it's also like I weirdly enough needed to hear myself again with the same. I know I lived it, but I needed to hear myself with that testimony and be like, "Why you
okay then?
Why is this? Dude, look at this. Look at yourself." And I'm just like, "Okay, God, I see you. I see you."
Yeah. It took me back, and this is one of my favorite episodes. Absolutely, because choices are a big deal. They are a really, really big deal, and so I'm so happy that we could actually freeze this moment in time and kind of go back and look at it. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to go back and watch it again and definitely see it with fresh eyes and implement. Powerful. Let us know in the comments, guys. What did you think about this episode of Because of You? We can let us know in the comments. Some comments have been actually going. Can we take about 2 or so? What's in the comments, Jesse?
So we have Satin Brownie at the top saying, "My most self-impacting choice to date has been how I choose to see people in pain, how I choose to think of their expressions when they hurt, especially when I hurt them, and how I choose to relate these experiences to others." And we have Every Entertainer following up, and they said, "Well said at Satin, food for thought." A lot of times we are focused on what we personally want to do as opposed to service, where we are planting, right where we are. Who are we truly, honestly serving?
That's powerful. Thank you so much for commenting, Satin Brownie and every entertainer. We always love hearing from you. If you are just joining us, you are watching the final episode for this season of Weekends with Marsha J and Jesse. And we are doing throwback episodes, and we just had one. And thank you so much for sticking and staying with us. And we're looking forward to having you remain with us for the rest of today's show. So, Jesse, what's next?
We have our Coach Raquel with 21 Behavior Change.
Awesome.
And guys, if you guys don't know, let me just real quick introduce her. Coach Raquel, she's a proven strategist, and she is a beneficiary of the eCornell Bank of America Women's Entrepreneurship at Cornell University, where she completed certification in entrepreneurship. She is also a certified career coach with over 15 years of leadership experience. She is a true advocate of positive change in the 21st century, helping individuals and companies achieve their goals. Hi, Coach. How are you?
Good morning, Coach.
Hey, good morning. How are you? Can you hear me?
I think you have a bit of a feedback, though.
Yeah, a little bit
You
of
do?
I think it might be a mic feedback. Yeah.
I'm not sure how to address that. Hang on.
Okay.
Is that better? Is that better now?
Yes.
Is that better?
Not much
better.
feedback.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay, wonderful. You know, I had fully prepared on having our favorite episode replayed as well, but then I forgot. I remembered that it's the final episode of the season, and that Marsha won't be coming back. So I wanted to take a moment to come on to say thank you to her and also wish her all the best. But I wanted to talk about, as I was listening to that, I'm telling you, sometimes we need to go back. When I was going back, it's important to go back sometimes and listen. As I listened to her, I think Marsha, you selected that episode.
Yeah.
Well selected, because I think it's timely, and it's she said something where she said letting people go. We're not always favorable to change, right? And sometimes change is difficult for us. One of the things I've been working on myself with over the past few months is learning to forgive, repent, accept change, doing the things that make me uncomfortable. Because I find for me, it's in those uncomfortable moments that I find myself connected with God. In my most uncomfortable moments that I find it. So I won't be long, but I just wanted to share everything. This morning I woke up and it's like the voice, God was just talking to me. And this is just kind of what he shared with me. And I remember I posted it on my Facebook page, and I just wanted to share it. Everything you have, you value. Everything you have, whatever it is you have in this moment, whether you like it, don't like it, once you're holding on to it, it's because that is what you value. Everything you lose, you don't value. Whatever it is you're letting go of, that's what, and when I say let go, this is in the context of just values, have nothing to do with the changes on here. Just in anything you do, whatever it is you're letting go of, is based on value system. It's based on choices, but I'm going to talk about that now further. Everything you lose, you don't value. And number 3, add value, and value will come back to you. Yes, and remember, let me make it clear, changes have to happen. So don't worry about, and even in changes, let me say it this way. Even in changes, even if you're letting go of whatever you're letting go of, whether it's, and this is applicable to even what is happening here, let me not separate it. Right? Because that's the human in me, getting all, oh my gosh, that's not what I'm protecting myself. That's not what I'm about to say, which was not the plan. But let me change that and go into the discomfort of it. It is value. And it's okay, because sometimes God has to let us let go of some values to gain other values. So nothing is wrong with it. Yes? Yeah. Okay. Again, and then value, your results is based on your choices. Your choices are based on your value system. So the question I would like for each person to ask themselves is, What fuels my value system? I'm going to do that again because I interjected. I kind of had a discussion, and I think it might have thrown off from the intentions of what I had to say. So I wanted to just to be clear. Everything you have, you value. Everything you lose, you don't value. Add value, and value will come back to you. Your results is based on your choices. Your choices are based on your value system. Now you've got to ask yourself, what fuels my value system? If you go through these things and you make note of it every time you have a choice, I believe it can help you. And in cases where you may feel like, I know for me, sometimes I struggle with choices because there's what I want, and then there's what's flowing freely. So I'm not even going to say what I want and what God wants. What I want and what's flowing freely. I believe what is flowing freely is God. I had a recent experience with some newness in my life, new people, new experiences. And I am learning so many things, new culture, just different, right? And it's amazing with all that you already know, what you don't know. Isn't it amazing? When you meet upon information you haven't thought of, and you're like, new information, new culture, new thoughts, new, Marsha, as you go, it is my hope that you focus on the new, focus on the values that are coming. And don't be fearful of letting go of the things you valued that were for seasons. Yes? Focus on, for me, I understand that you're going to be searching and consulting with God, but you know what my wish is for you? Is that instead of going about it your way and searching for God your way, just stop and say, what is he giving to me right now? And sit in it. Whatever that is, as you make your changes, you're such a beautiful soul. You're such a beautiful soul. You couldn't blemish that if you tried. Even if you tried, and none of your, I believe that even though at the end of the day, using my own life, at the end of the day, we try to make the right choices, but none of your choices are the wrong choices. Because he is with us always. I was washing my dishes the other day, and God said to me, you haven't realized that you got the clock. And I'm like, the clock on the wall, yeah, the clock on the wall. And I turned around and I looked over the door. And there was a clock on the wall. I know you must be wondering, what am I talking about? For those of you who don't know me, I don't know if Marsha remember, because we talk outside of this. I have always wanted a clock on the wall. Always wanted a clock on the wall. Every time I come out of where I was living, I was like, I need a clock. I don't know what time things are. And I had a specific one in mind that I didn't ask for. I didn't ask for it. I prayed about getting a clock. I prayed about buying a clock. All of that. But in my heart and soul, I wanted a clock. I love, those little quotes that you tape on the wall. Yeah. I love the kind of clock that you put into the wall, the one where the ticking is on the wall itself.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That's where I'm at. It is in the house. I was standing there and he said it to me, and I turned around and I'm like, I just had to smile, tears running down my eyes, like, God, you've been answering my real prayers, not just the ones that I pray. Because sometimes what I pray for isn't what I'm wanting, isn't what I'm needing, isn't what I value. Sometimes what I'm praying for is not what I value. And so it's not that God isn't answering my prayer. It's that I'm praying for one thing because I think it's the right thing. But God is answering me based on my values. Based on what he knows I will truly appreciate. And I'm learning that. I remember when I relocated to where I'm at now, it was such a struggle for me. I was worrying about everything. And my God, the day I made the decision and I said, yes, this is it. And I meant it. He just answered me. And let me tell you something. It was the easiest, smoothest move I've ever had. And the things that I'm revealing, that I'm learning in this new space, in this new time, my heart is just overflowing with praise. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So it's funny because when he gave me this and I wrote it down, I didn't even think about, Marsha leaving, and I wasn't thinking about it. But as I stopped to explain that I wasn't thinking about it, it's like the voice in my head, like, no, 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 no. Let it flow. Let it flow. So maybe it does apply. Yes, maybe it does apply, whether or not it does. Everything you have, you value. Everything you lose, you don't value. Add value, and value will come to you. Your results is based on choices, on your choices. Your choices are based on your value system. What fuels your value system? It is my hope that as you go, my darling, that this helps in some way to not just give you clarity, but comfort. All is well. All is well. All is well. Thank you for having me on the show today. And
Thank you
bless you all.
too.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you too for sharing and coming on, Coach Raquel. Always leaving us with profound words, and I really appreciate the sentiments. It's really an emotional. It's hard.
I
This is my
know.
last episode,
It's
So yeah, it really is.
we were talking about that at the top of the show, and in a way, Keith said it's bittersweet, and another word that comes to mind, it's like the word renew, and that doesn't mean in a bad way, because it also has very good positive, meanings behind it. But the fact that we have to renew means that there has to be a shift somehow. And you're like a big sister that I always wanted, and you took me in, and we'll talk. Anyway, I'm not
We
gonna
will.
cry on air right now.
And so, what if we do?
I know. I got a little itch. Okay, so that being said, we are then going to move on to our entertainment now.
All right, so let's go beyond the music, dance, box office, and thrills that flow from entertainment industry to get deeper and more meaningful insights into the minds and hearts of the players. Today we'll be sharing one of our favorite interviews inside this segment, and this is an interview with featuring nurse musician Ariana White. Let's lean in and listen.
All right. And so we have with us this morning a very special guest inside our talent segment. Absolutely one of my favorite segments. And we have some really awesome people that constantly pass through. And today is no different. We have with us Lady Ariana White. So she is a Jamaican gospel artist and musician. She was a JCDC gospel finalist in 2015. She has released 4 singles: Moving Forward, New Creature, Set Me Ablaze, and most recently, Nah Go Sell Him Out. She loves the Lord, and get this, she is a registered nurse by profession, and she also plays the guitar. And she wants to heal the sick and raise the dead and win souls for God. Good morning, Ariana. I think you're muted though, just in case.
Yes, I am muted. Good morning. Good morning, Lady
Good
Marsha. Good
morning.
morning.
It's good to have you. Good to have you in studio today.
Yeah.
It's so refreshing to have you and welcome. And I know you're hailing us all the way from the island of Jamaica.
Yes, I'm in Kissing Town, St. Catherine right now.
Awesome.
In Jamaica. Yeah.
What's the weather like over there though?
It has overcast. It's been threatening to rain for a little bit. I really hope it does. I want the rainwater.
You want the rain?
Yes.
Yeah, I know that longing. I absolutely know that longing. Well, I'm so happy that you're here to share your gift with us. Let me ask you this. How long have you been singing, or rather yet in ministry?
I started singing early, as a lot of us in Caribbean countries. We start singing at church. That was my story as well. But I was shy. I was the little one who would sing and laugh and giggle, and so that didn't go far from early because I was so shy. But at about 18, I started like joining bands, and I was a part of several bands. And then in 2015, I joined JCDC. So I'd say 2015 would be the year I commenced like really doing ministry with JCDC.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I saw something very interesting in your profile. It says that you're a musician and you're a registered nurse. How do you
Right.
make those how does that combination work though?
Oh, that combination has been a challenge. Yeah, so much so that over the last couple of months, it's been just nursing because nursing takes a lot of your time. And
And
music,
let me just take this in here. How has it been for you with C19 and all of that in the mix?
you know, I've been on study leave. I'm studying to be a midwife now. So
Ooh.
for the last year, I've been out of my general hospital setting, and I've been in different hospital settings and in the community. So it's different because I'm in the capacity of a student, so it's not as pressuring. And I think Holy Spirit is so excellent. He knows how to put you into certain situations, right? And so that's been it. I mean, going through different hospitals, I see, the precautions being taken, and the fullness of the hospitals, and Jamaica doesn't necessarily have all of the things that a first world country would have, but I see excellent nurses and I see excellent doctors, and for the most part, I see patients who are willing to try to wear the masks and take precautions. So it's been good. I know that for my colleagues, it's been a challenge because the hospitals are overflowing.
Hmm.
But yeah, but it's for me, it's been good. It's been a good time. I think I remember that your mom is a nurse, so you know how it is.
Yes. Yes,
You
the
know,
hours, the long hours.
you know that it is sometimes very difficult, and it's not that you're at work just sitting and looking cute.
Yes.
It's almost manual labor. It's a challenge, but I think COVID came to make me appreciate my job even more, because when everybody had to stay home, I had to be going out there, and God really provided during that time. So I really never felt the pinch so much of like the financial constraints and stuff. So God is good.
Okay, awesome. Just want to kind of quickly go over to my YouTube comments because they're over there generating conversation. You mentioned something about overflowing. So someone was saying overflowing with question sign. Gorgeous brown skin girl, and I hope I get to hear her sing. I hope I get to hear her sing. So, and of course, we're going to ask you to sing, but not quite yet. We still want to find out a little bit more about you. So let's talk about designing the concept for the music video Nago Selim Out. How did you come up with that
Yes.
concept?
Oh, all right. So first of all, um, that concept was not necessarily my brainchild. The funny, Marsha, listen, for years, and I know some artists, they know how frustrating music can be. Especially if you're trying to do it according to God's timing, and sometimes His timing is off with yours,
Yeah, I know
and
about that.
so for a while I just chilled out. I wasn't doing much musically. I was just waiting on my turn. I was waiting because when I'm so excited, it frustrates me. So I just pulled back. Anyways, Anthony Bailey, he contacted me and he's like, I want to do a music video for you. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he totally did the music video. He set up the storyline. He got the props. It was his brain. All I did was show up. And so it was all him. So I must give credit and honor to Anthony Bailey for just his in. I think a part of it was a little freelance too, because we had a storyline working, and then for whatever reason it wasn't working. I was like, why we don't just do this, And so it flowed, on the spot. So it was a beautiful opportunity, and it was my first video. So to get the concept in the head, I was glad that Anthony was there, Marsha.
Yes, and so we would love to show.
It was really me. It was him.
We want to show a small portion of the video. We won't be able to play the actual audio because of stipulations on YouTube. But would you give us the permission to just kind of play the video?
Definitely.
Okay. Awesome. So here is what the video looks like if you want to actually hear it. Oh, she's in a nurse uniform. I like that. I like how he just incorporated your profession into it.
Oh, no.
I love it.
No, that's just a white shirt. I was trying my best to avoid.
You see when you have something in your head.
To avoid. Yes.
So I mean,
I was trying to avoid that.
Jesse, I'll be adding her to my top 10 for top 5 for next week. Please do not add her. We have this rivalry going on, Ariana, that we have, songs that we put in our top 5 playlist. But definitely, and I love the use of the Jamaican colors. Definitely representing your culture and things like that. Now, we talked about the concept of the video. Let's talk about the lyrics of the song. How did you come up with the lyrics? How do you write? Things like that. How do you get inspired?
Well, that song and most of my songs come from personal experience or from the experiences of others. Or sometimes it's a direct download. Like Moving Forward was a direct download. That song just dropped. I was just the first to hear that song. And so I hope to get several more like that in Jesus' name. Amen. But but now the Selling Out came at a time I was a part of a band. I was based there in a band, and I was struggling. It wasn't really struggling. The Lord had spoken to me because I did a little fleece test. I said, God, if you make me get my guitar for today, I will take it that you mean, yes, I should go into this band. So I go rehearsal, man. Part of band. When I reach home, Holy Spirit said, who tell you to join band? Did I tell you to join? I was like, but I thought he said you have 7 months there. 7. So I'm with the band and I have to be cautious about what I do. He says, don't put your voice on any of the music. You can play for them. You can write for them, but you are not going to sing. Your voice is for ministry. Like, he was strong, Marsha. When the 7 months came and I was getting ready to leave, it was a challenge because internally I wanted to still be part of it. And I was like justifying. I said, God, look how many Christian musicians play secular music. I mean, why can't I? And so I was there and I was fighting worse. I was getting pressure from people that if you leave the band, you're going to become a has-been. Nobody's going to know you, and your music career is going to end. And Marsha, so one night, it was a series of things that the Lord did, including a dream. I dreamt of hell. That thing was vivid. And when I woke up, God said, if you do not turn, this is it for you. Don't play with me. I said, okay, you're being rather strong. This girl called me, messaged me on Facebook from the other end of the island, from Westmoreland. I don't know you, and I don't usually do this, but I saw your face in a dream. I said, I get music across the world when they go on tour. I just can't say Jesus, or I can't say the Almighty, or I can't say God, but I can't say Jesus. And I said, if I go on every major stage in the world and never get the opportunity to tell one person about Christ, I personally would have failed. I would have failed. And I told them, we didn't have a row. We didn't have like a disagreement. I just said, we're going in two different directions. You see, two cannot walk unless they agree. And we are not agreeing right now because God has called me to this. So that song came as like a pushback. Like, I'm not gonna do it. My business will not offer me. I don't care. Let me become a husband. Yeah. Another part of it was I used to have my guitar on my back everywhere I go. Nursing uniform guitar. Going to Harvestry guitar. I always have the guitar. I always going to rehearsals, always practicing. And I had a friend, she said, every day you get up and go on a rehearsal. Yeah, idiot. They might pay you. Are they paying you? You have sense. And it was such a struggle, Marsha. And I had other people who would say, you lucky you had the gospel. No money not over there, so you're not gonna get any money, you're gonna be poor. It's that song was a combination of all of those negative things that people were saying to me. And it have a little feisty undertone. Like, I'm not gonna sell him out. Go back through the door with that man. That's the basis of the song. Because God has promised in his word that, you see, our rewards are eternal. And yes, he will give us rewards here. But you set your heart on the treasures in heaven, because that thing will mess you up. The devil even came to Jesus with that kind of temptation. Hey, see the whole world here? If you only worship me, just bow down one time. Jesus said, nope, not doing it. So that's it. That's the song in a nutshell. That's the song in a nutshell.
I love it. And I'm going back to YouTube again because we have some comments here from Apostle Faith Walters. She says, young lady, it's a pleasure meeting and hearing you talk about our Lord and winning souls for him. Keep up the good work. Blessings to you as you fulfill your purpose. Coach Raquel says, those dreams of hell are very real. And back to Apostle, she says, love her spunkiness. Oh, we need that in Christendom. So glad you didn't listen to negativity. Yes, obedience is key to moving to levels in the Lord. Mindfulness in Ministry Masterclass says, amen to that. Big message, Coach says, two cannot walk unless they agree. Apostle says, yes, God is definitely our source, and he will always make a way. Now, would you do us the honor of singing at least a verse on a chorus or your favorite part in the song? Because we really want to hear it.
All right, no problem. Thank you so much for the comments. Thank you so much for the encouragement. It's always good to have like-minded people seeing and acknowledging what you're doing for the Lord and cheering you on and pushing you on. It's good to thank you. My favorite part, I said the people them say, girl, what you doing? Don't stay over there and live your life in a ruin. And them say your talent, that is what you're throwing away. Over gospel, you're not gonna get no pay. But I said, step back, go through the door that you flew in. Look, you see the master's work, that is what I'm doing. Pray for live right and serve Christ. They're up my treasures, them right up in a heaven. When I go sell him out, I go sell him out for millions. I do it for on the house, I carry pretty vans now. God on the world, him all everything and I am hand. Woo, 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 woo. Now go sell him out. Now do it for live like Miss Kardashian. Not even for live in a palace like a Buckingham, no. Now sell my one soul. I miss my place in a Zion. Miss him now go sell him out. And that was my that was my morning voice. Thank you.
Listen, it was beautiful. I love it, and I listened to the lyrics. Very rich, very potent. And something
That
that,
is it.
especially for young people, because the temptation is real out there. The
Yeah.
the ability to sway, the distractions, they are very real. So to get the reinforcement, especially in music, that's very influential, to say, listen, we're not set them out. We don't care. We don't care. We don't want to be no
Yeah.
Kardashian or no nothing. Because the
Yeah.
truth is,
Yeah.
the devil is a
Yeah.
deceiver, because he made Jesus think that, oh, okay, I'll give you all of this if you bow down to me. But Jesus run the
Mhm.
world, run the world,
Mhm.
Jesus. Let's just put that out.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
what is the impact you hope listeners receive when they watch this video and listen to the song?
All right. So that's a good question. Personally, I hope to encourage not just um Christians on a whole, but especially young musicians and artists, especially young business people, especially people who have to encounter certain decisions on a daily, um, not to compromise on their faith. It's so easy, Marsha. It's so easy. And
I
you
know.
see, when you make certain stands for the Lord, I feel his presence now. When you make certain stands for him and you decide that I am not doing X,
Yeah.
X is going to present repeatedly. X is the thing that you will see on your timeline on Facebook and on your
Mm.
timeline on Instagram, and you will see it all around you. X is the thing that people will actually be encouraging you towards. And so you will find that even temptations and challenges will be thrown at you just because you've made a certain stand. And I just wanted to encourage somebody. Yes, I sang it out of my frustration and out of my just decision. Hey, me no business with all if me dead poor. I don't care. I am not. Oh, King, live forever. We will not bow all if you throw it in the furnace. We're not going to bow. No. So I want that kind of determination and that kind of grit to be part of just young ministers' lives. Because again, once you make a stand, once you decide that I am serving God, come what may, you're going for it. It was depicted in the video. Bills due, the rent due, this is going on. If losing your job, this is happening. And at the same time, the devil is presenting you with grand opportunities, seemingly grand opportunities. Hey, here, aren't you struggling? Here you go, take this. But you don't see the hooks in it. It's like fishing. We'll offer you the bait, but the hook is well hidden in there. That thing, when it grabs you, only the mercies of God can let you go from that. So I want to encourage people, and it will get harder. Look at the direction where the world is going in, Marsha. The world
Mm.
is headed in a particular direction where you have to know what you stand for. And when you stand for that thing, just prepare for persecution. Our side of the world don't know persecution that much, but it's coming. It's coming. And so it is just even from this point of view and from this front of music saying, hey, I'm not selling out, it's going to need to be transferred over to every part of our lives, at the job, at school. You have to stand for what you believe in. And so that is pretty much the theme that I want people to get from listening to the music and from watching the video. So yeah.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And you
Thank
said
you.
some very poignant things. I'm not even gonna go over it, but it's really, I would say, winding down time. And I know it's very frustrating, especially with C19 and transitioning to online. Some persons
Mhm.
weren't even prepared for what is happening, and we all have our own challenges, and we still have to get up every day. Interestingly enough, there was a conversation about Jamaica that I was listening to, where, of course, Jamaica is a third world country. And the article that I saw, there was a research that was done on Jamaica,
Mhm.
and it showed that we had so much going on that the suicide rate in our country should be higher. But what
Mhm.
they think is kind of keeping us and preserving us. Two things: our faith, because of course we have the most church per square mile, and people always love to acknowledge God in Jamaica. And two, because there's always someone there to say, you know what, be strong, keep going, do what you're
Mhm.
doing.
Yeah.
So of
Mhm.
course we know that it's not just Jamaica, but God is with us. God is definitely with
Right.
us no matter what it is. And we're not gonna sell him
Yeah.
out, right? We're not gonna,
Amen.
we're not gonna sell him out.
Amen.
We
Amen.
support you. No, before that, what's next for Ariana White?
All right. So for Ariana White, I would so love to say, oh, I have an album coming out, or oh, there's an EP. To be fully honest, I've been so frustrated. These songs were written. I had this writing spree in 2015. Like most of the songs that I've recorded, released over the last 3 years were written in that time frame. And so I have those songs for songs before, and I have a whole heap of things just in the pipelines, in the pipelines, in the pipelines. And I find, especially if you want to do the music well, if you want the quality of the music to be well and good and road worthy, because that's one of the comments about um the Naga Selimot song. They're like, oh my gosh, the music sounds so good. It sounds so much like reggae. Yeah, because my producer is a perfectionist. It's both a blessing and a curse, praise the Lord, because it means that he's not sending it out there until he thinks it is roadworthy. And so we have several other projects that are being worked on. Actually, we had wanted to release some of the other reggae songs in time for Reggae Month, but we only got to do the video. And so, again, as I told you, I'm a little bit more laid back, especially because I have other things going on like school and work. I'm a little bit more relaxed, and but recently in prayer with my darling husband, I must say hello to my husband Devontae Breton. Oh, praise God, he's looking at me. Hi,
Good
praise the Lord.
morning, sir. You should bring him on camera to say,
Oh, I don't think
and I've been
he's ready
watching
for
those
the camera.
inspirational videos that you two have been doing together. They need to bring him on camera. Let him say good morning to
What,
the to
what,
our
I- what I
viewers.
did, he's like,
No, he's shy.
Awesome interview there, Jesse.
Hmm. Yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. She is such a brand, fun and spirited energy. I loved hearing her again.
Definitely. So Jesse, tell us what's next.
So we are heading into our wealth mindset for today. And up on the screen there, our topic for wealth mindset today is 8 strategies to create a wealth mindset. I'm going to read this off on my end, so bear with me. All right, so we start with saying wealth rarely comes without belief and intention. You need to have a wealth mindset in alignment with the abundance you wish to attain. And sorry, guys, this is coming from yoursuccessfulandhappylife.com. It is possible to look your way into financial abundance, but the odds are not in your favor. And in this case, it usually does not last. While a wealth mindset isn't enough to create wealth by itself, it is the most important ingredient needed to set you on the correct path. So let's dive in these 8 strategies. So the first, positive attitude toward money and wealth. It is so important to develop a positive attitude around money and wealth, to feel good when thinking about money, to also view prosperity as easily attainable for yourself in understanding you are more than deserving of this reality. Most of us will like more money, but we may harbor negative feelings or beliefs around money. It is difficult to become wealthy or rich if you are fearful you will not be able to meet your financial obligations, or if you tell yourself that money is difficult to obtain or that wealth is not going to happen for you. 2. Spend time with like-minded people. If you want to become wealthy, it makes sense to spend time with wealthy people, to get a feel for how they think, how they plan, how they act and perform, how they communicate, and how they follow through on their ideas. Hanging around with ambitious people that share your vision of the future will give you the support and validation you need to persevere. So seek out opportunities that you can meet and socialize with wealth-minded people. 3. Be willing to ignore the dissuaders. And I know we got a whole bunch of them, just not with wealth. When wealth creation becomes a priority in your life, you are sure to receive some criticism from friends or family members that have different beliefs around money or your ideas. They may tell you that it's a pipe dream, it's not possible, or even that you don't have the skills to achieve the success you desire. However, they are most likely only expressing the limiting beliefs they have in their life that may be holding them back from greater success. It is important to ignore these opinions from others, to have tunnel vision aimed squarely at the attainment of your goals. Allow them to live their own life, and you can do the same. Live on your own terms. 4. Be respectful for money. If you aren't respectful of your partner, they'll eventually leave you. The same is true for money. Be respectful of how you spend and invest it. You can still feel like you have more than enough money even while acting responsibly. Do you have bills organized, or are they all over the house? Do you pay your bills on time? Anything that involves money should be intentional on your part. Spend your money wisely. 5. Focus on creating a value. The more value you can provide to the world, the more you can expect to receive it. So share the world your gifts and talents. Put them to use for betterment of yourself and others. Provide the most value you can, and do this with passion. Let it come organically from deep within yourself. Whether it's creating a painting, playing music, writing a novel, or helping others in some way. When you feel great about your work, you will be rewarded the most, and the money will automatically follow. Same thing. 6. Leverage your strengths. Become excellent at what you're good at, and delegate the rest to others, some who may be great in the areas in which you struggle. It's more intelligent to use your strengths than spend valuable time building your weakness to a tolerable level. This is a focus shift that will allow you to get the most of yourself and within a group or team you are working with. 7, eliminate expenses that aren't meaningful to you. It's not necessary to wash your clothes by hand, but if you haven't used your home alarm system in 6 months, why are you paying for the service? Look at your monthly bills and expenses and eliminate those things that don't bring you any kind of value. This will either allow you to save more money, or you can put this allotted money towards other areas that may be more helpful or meaningful to you. And last but not least, 8, believe you can be wealthy. Current statistics put the odds of becoming a millionaire in the US at 7%. That's roughly 1 in 14 households. Not too shabby, right? That includes people that never really dedicated themselves to creating wealth. Imagine how good your odds are if you really make an effort, if you believe you can attain prosperity and riches. Know that with earnest effort, your odds of becoming wealthy are better than 50%. Having the seed of possibility planted in your brain makes wealth possible. From there, you can strengthen and nourish this idea until it becomes a reality. And guys, that is pretty much it. And to sum it up, in conclusion, wealth starts with having a positive mindset about money. Examine your own thoughts and determine what changes are needed towards a wealth mindset.
Definitely powerful, Jesse. I really, really love those tips. And let us know in the comments, guys, what do you think about this? Is every week we come on here, we talk about wealth mindset, and we do not equate wealth to money. Wealth is so much more than that. So, remember, eat these things up, absorb them, meditate on them, let them manifest in your life per se. Thank you so much for that, Jesse. And now we turn our attention to community health check, where we're going to be looking at ASMR. Do you enjoy ASMRs?
I do a little bit low key. And actually, I don't know if it's your background or mine. There's like a so I'm like, that's
I think
perfect.
It's my background. They are working on the building, but yes, it could be a type of ASMR.
I was like,
thank
this
you
is
for pointing that
ASMR
out.
going right there.
Like white noise. Yeah, true. How convenient. Thank you for that, Jesse.
You're welcome.
Oh my goodness. All right, Jesse. So because of my background, you're gonna have to go again because it's gonna get loud.
Okay. I'm gonna try to speed this up, and I think Coach also really loves ASMR, so it'll be really good.
Yes, she does. She always talks about it.
And talk about it. Okay, so real quick before she comes on, let's read the 9 unexpected health benefits from ASMR. Again, I'm gonna read this off my computer. So, for you guys who don't know about ASMR, let's just briefly talk about it. So, what is ASMR? According to the science, Wikipedia, and this is coming from 9pedia.com, ASMR is the abbreviation for autonomous sensory meridian response, or autosensory meridian response. So yes, it is a sensory response that happens naturally with most people when they have certain sensory experiences, that is touch or hearing mostly. The experience of being touched in certain sounds are the most ASMR triggering. An ASMR experience is very pleasant, like a mild excitation on the scalp or skin surface that for some people induce a great state of relaxation. It can be described as tingling sensations in the crown of the head. It's a tingling sensation like, when you get goosebumps, to be precise. So, yes, ASMR is really relaxing. Let's just scroll down to the 9 health benefits. So 1, relieve stress with ASMR. The first and main health benefit of ASMR is that watching ASMR videos can stress relief and reduce anxiety. According to a recent number of studies, this is due to the fact that ASMR videos lower heart rate and induce a very pleasant feeling of relaxation and stress relief. A study showed that 70% of participants watch ASMR videos to deal with stress. This may be one of those reasons most people watch ASMR and don't even realize it. Instead of giving into food or other excitements to go through a stressful time, choose a relaxing ASMR video. It works. ASMR is for insomnia. Another amazing health benefit of ASMR is that it can help those suffering from insomnia. I couldn't agree more than watching ASMR videos, especially spa, massage, pamper kinds. They help fall asleep faster than reading a book, which was my go-to for insomnia, even better than a warm glass of milk. If you also watch ASMR videos to fall asleep, you're not the only one. A 2015 study showed that 82% of participants watch ASMR to help them sleep. And there are even more studies showing this. Looking for a simple remedy for insomnia? Try ASMR. Below is a good read of ASMR's effects on insomnia. It's also good for our heart. ASMR videos are great for overall relaxation and even meditation. A 2018 study showed that watching videos can decrease your heart rate and increase skin conductance. The TV show Trust Me, I'm a Doctor, Series 9, Episode 2, rolled an experiment with a group of volunteers. The results showed lower heart rates and increased skin arousal. In conclusion, ASMR is very good for the heart. It could also help with your focus. A recent survey done by the company Panasonic in March 2020 revealed that 7% of 2,000 employed UK adults listen to ASMR content while working. Another benefit of ASMR is that it can increase learning abilities. Actually, 1/5 of the ADD and ADHD participants in a study told that watching ASMR helped them focus and learn better. 5. Depression. One of the most important health benefits of ASMR is that watching ASMR videos has proven to reduce depression and anxiety. Feeling not so happy-go-lucky? A 2015 study on the effects of ASMR revealed that 80% of participants report an effect on mood, which is positive on average. Those at high risk for depression reported that ASMR improves their mood. It is clear that watching videos on a regular basis can help one feel less depressed and anxious. It can also relieve feelings of sadness, loneliness, and other bad moods. 6. Chronic pain. Another major health benefit of videos is that it can help people suffering from chronic pain. A number of studies and experiments have showed that watching ASMR videos has helped people with pain, chronic pain, and fibromyalgia. According to one of the recent studies, 42% of participants with chronic pain believed that watching ASMR videos had an effect on their symptoms. 7. Addictions. A quite peculiar and unexpected mental benefit from watching ASMR videos is coping with addictions. This is a breakthrough discovery, actually, because recovering from any addiction is one of the hardest things you can do in a lifetime. A lot of people relapse and give back into their addiction, while others go through a lot of suffering mentally and physically. Very many testimonials stand as proof that ASMR videos help people recover from addictions such as alcoholism, opioids such as oxycodone. If this is the case, who knows what other addictions can be cured solely by watching ASMR videos? 5. Where did I go? What numbers, Jesse? 8. Number 8. Physical performance. Another major health benefit of ASMR is watching these types of videos can increase physical performance in athletes. This, again, a major thing. The relaxation-induced state from ASMR watching may be allowing the muscles in the body to fully relax, hence recover and perform better. This can be one explanation. Some even recommend watching a relaxing ASMR video after a strenuous workout to help the body fully relax. This way, one can make the most of their workouts because a great part of becoming a great physical athlete is the relaxation after a workout. And last but not least, 9. Trauma release with ASMR. For instance, sexual assault victims rely on ASMR to help get comfort and the peace they need to overcome their traumatic event. Moreover, ASMR can also help those that have been dealing with narcissistic abuse and different phobias and manic episodes. But there are many other health benefits of ASMR, and I am confident that they will be highlighted on ongoing and further studies. One thing is for sure, there are no negatives in watching ASMR. And we have some comments going in that says, Marsha says, official Marsha J says, ASMR addict here, guilty. Am I the only one that loves when a chiropractor cracks people's joints? I love that. I love that sound and the sweetness of the sounds of the seat of sleep or popping of fire. Yes, I love the rain, but that popping of fire also does it too. And every entertainer says yes. They love popping of fire as well. All of it oddly satisfying. That is so true. Low-key, one of my friends says that I have a voice from ASMR and that I should just set up a random account and start reading people books or something and just talk really slowly. What do you guys think? I don't know.
That's lovely. You should try it. You know what I always get? It's really weird to me. I get from men. Men have always been telling me to set up an account where I just read sexy things.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah.
I've never done it. I don't think I am sexy in my voice. I do love to write. Like I like sexting.
Yeah.
To anyone. Like even one of my friends once sent me something like they have where you get hired to talk to people about sexy things or write to them about sexy things. I mean, I love to write it. I never thought I was good at speaking it.
Right. I make money off of this way.
But I do love ASMRs. You're correct. I watch people eat. It has, as a matter of fact, watching ASMRs has changed my entire life. It changed my life that was what I remember. I was coming out of something that really, a terrible thing that happened to me. And I talk about it in Finding Happy. And I had always had, when I was in college, I had insomnia. I wish I knew about ASMR because I used to ask my roommate to rub my hand or rub my head. You know, never really. After a while, it just didn't work. I wish I knew about it, but more. I think it's back in 2018. I discovered ASMR, and I started watching. It was SAS, and oh my gosh! If you have any issues with food, SAS ASMR. She's on YouTube. Phenomenal woman. And she just eats, and I fell in love with Thailand. I fell in love with Thai food. I fell in love with vegetables, the way they prepare it, the way they eat. So now I have this love for vegetables. Also, there's this couple, they're a gay couple, Lips, LLIPS. I started watching them, and I started watching him. I didn't know he was gay or anything like that, but I started watching him because one day I was watching, it popped up, and I was watching, and I realized they had this thing called Therapy Thursday. Is it Therapy Thursday? I think, yeah. And I was just listening to them having conversation, and then I realized that he's someone who has a relationship with God, and the way he talks about people while he's eating and stuff, because I was never the one for the smackalicious things, right? When they're smacking them out and stuff, that wasn't for me. But when he does it for some weird reasons, because of when he talk about his life story with it and just his perspective on things and how he speak about when people get hurt and stuff like that, and he does that in between, it just does something. It just gives me this soothing peace. Like when I leave here, when I'm done working every day, ASMR is the first thing I do. It's either ASMR, divorce court, or some kind of comedy. And almost every day I go through those things. It relaxes my it just brings me so much peace. And it's giving me a renewed approach and love for life and food. Whenever I turn the rain on, have you ever had those kinds of sleep where you oversleep to the point where you're tired?
Yeah.
The rain does that to me. All I have to do, if I have an appointment and I turn the rain on, it's over. In 5 minutes, it's over. So it's really, it's something that I think everyone should try. It really, really helps. And it's, it helps not only, it helps in so many ways. So I'm going to stop there, but yeah, it's amazing. Thank you.
Totally agree with you, and thanks for sharing that, Coach. I think it was Coach that actually put me onto ASMR.
Oh, wow.
And and since that, I know about the insomnia a bit, and man, I don't know. I've been trying to find my own sounds. Then I started to listen to a chiropractor just popping people's joints. I'm like, oh, this is.
Yes. It's definitely like that. Definitely.
Wow. I love it. I love it. Guys, tell us in the comments. Are you into ASMR? Have you ever tried it? How is it for you? Let us know in the comments. And there's some pretty weird ones out there. Believe me.
There are weird ones, and like somehow I heard like some people like with eating, but like Raquel said that like the smacking of it, I never got into that. Here it is. Oh, hold on. I just got a pop up. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I got a pop up on my end on my computer. I just gotta go get something real quick.
No problem, Jesse. No problem. But definitely agree, with her there about ASMRs. And I don't want to close out the conversation before she comes back because I know she has something pretty important to say. But for those of us who struggle, Jesse, what's going on? I can hear everything. Are you okay? I love it. Oh my goodness. It sounds like you are tumbling down over there. Do I need to send Keith? Keith?
Keith's gonna have to drive 6 hours. I'm good. I'm back, guys. Whew. I'm back.
Oh my goodness.
I had to get my charger, guys, for you guys to know. I had to get my charger, and it's like on the other side, and I have my table angled, so I had to squeeze through, and then like it was like dope, and I'm like, okay, that's cool.
It happens.
One thing that I love, and this has nothing to do, like I'm not like romantic or relationships or anything like that, but I mean I love that. But guys with deep voices or singers that have a bass, like a true bass. If any man that could sing in bass, and I mean true bass, not baritone, not tenor, that like voice. I'm like,
listen, can I just share this real quick before we move on because we have a spotlight next.
Yeah.
I remember I was doing radio broadcasting with Miss Monica Johnson. I don't know where in the world she is, but I love her. Absolutely awesome teacher. And we had to do a recording, and we needed a male to read a part on the script. So we were there actually vetting male voices and so on. And then this really tall guy, I have a thing for tall guys too. Really tall guy, about 6'5". He walks in, so I'm like, okay, and I'm looking up, and then he says, "Hello, ladies." But it was like everybody just fell apart. Like, oh my God, this is it. So you're right.
Little basic. One thing else is, and I saw it on a comment. I don't know if it's a comment or Coach also sent men with, every entertainer says, "Whoa, LOL." It's true though. That I also have a thing of particularly men. There's a specific type of growl, and two artists that do it, DMX that passed away and Pop Smoke. And I'll listen to both of their songs when they get that growl that they do, and I'll just repeat it like over and over again.
So big up to the men out there with the good voice.
Men out there with good bass voice. Thank you. Thank you, God, for giving it to them.
Comfort, such a comfort. Guys, just receive it. Don't even say nothing. Don't even comment. Just receive it in Jesus' name. Amen. Oh my gosh. With that being said, we have inside our spotlight today, we want to talk about Salt Consultant LLC, home improvement company, right? So how many years in the business, has many years in the business, contract the City of Plainfield Community Development Department and private home owners. And they are fully licensed, insured, and dedicated to quality workmanship and customer satisfaction. And they can bring your home or office to life. So what are some of the services they offer, Jesse?
They offer a free estimate. They do plumbing, electrical, painting, fencing, ceiling tile, drywall, flooring, and so much more. And if you guys need more information from them, they are at 149 Marina Drive, Edison, New Jersey, 08817. And you could call them at 732-900-7362. And their website, again, is www.salt1consultant.com. And we have their website on the screen there.
Awesome stuff. So if you're into home improvement, definitely this is the connect for you. Thank you so much for joining us this week inside Wealth Mindset. And, it was just an awesome episode. All right. And now we go into Voice of Truth. On a whole, we have with us inside our segment Ray of Hope guest Mr. Laszlo Heckler. Now, Mr. Heckler or Laszlo has the most empowering story ever. He was poverty-stricken and homeless for 6 months. He faced hurling winds and life's challenges. He found out who he was and who he wanted to be. Currently, he serves on multiple boards of directors. He is an inspirational speaker for multiple companies, and he is here today to share his journey with us. Powerful, Jesse, to know when someone can move from being in poverty to sitting on multiple boards of directors, giving inspirational speech. That is absolutely awesome. As he comes into the room, we just want to take a quick moment again to say hello to those who are watching on the various platforms. And thank you so much for joining us on Weekends with Marsha J and Jesse. It's been a powerful segment so far. We just did our wealth segment where we had quite a bit of information, Jesse, on our health.
Yes.
Voice of Truth. Yes. Okay. All right. So Mr. Laszlo seems to be having some technical difficulties. Magnetic effects say they're due to those nasty microchips that Bill Gates has engineered into the vaccine to make us all. All right, so if you are watching us, thank you so much for sticking and staying with us. We are inside the segment Voice of Truth, and we are running an interview with Mr. Laszlo Heckler. And so if you're just joining us, this week is a very special episode because this is the final episode in the season, right, Jesse? And yes, we are highlighting some of our favorite episodes.
And it's a throwback Saturday indeed. And as we get for Voice of Truth, our Laszlo flashback episode up here for you guys, I remember one thing about that episode where it reminded me of the possibility that anything is possible and anything can happen. And it kind of combined Kimono Brown's interview with the power of choice and Laszlo's journey. And I think if I remember correctly, I know that we'll have the video up to reflect, but from where he was through homelessness through now doing speaking engagements and stuff like that, I think that not only the power of choice, but also gosh, I just blanked out for a second. How God connects us all, and I know as you guys are tuning in or listening in today will also be Marsha's last day. And speaking of connection, how I met Marsha in the first place and to be part of UMERADIO was 100% a godsend. And I am truly honored and grateful. And it was during a time where I was moving to a new city and leaving my family and friends, and there was a whole bunch of changes. And I think that God implemented this program, and you, Marsha, in particularly, and our producers and all the other members of our team, to give me that family, even though, so that I don't feel away from home and I don't feel lonely, And I'm gonna cry. I'm not a crier. What day is it? My period. Listen, it's a girl's. My thing. menstrual queen is about to come, so that's why I'm crying about it. But that's the truth. And I remember DJ KTE found me on Facebook out of nowhere, and I just connected with you guys. And I'm not gonna say goodbye yet, because technically we got 30 minutes, 35 minutes. So it's not technically bye. That's technically bye. What do you say, Marsha? And DJ KT, if you want to chime in too.
Well, again, as I mentioned earlier, life is filled with changes. It's not always easy. And sometimes you can't really tell what's in your heart or in the person's heart, except God knows what's really going on there. And the hope is that as we go through our own transition in life, in whatever form that is or looks like, we realize that that we just have to remain authentic and grateful. And I remember small beginnings. Many people tend to those small beginnings, and but I think that again, it's always important to celebrate those accomplishments, those small steps that we made in life, or big steps, or we want to call them. And I realized that God connects, as Jess was saying earlier, that I saw on Facebook, and something just grabbed my attention. And it wasn't just about her beauty. It really was her. I mean, she's a beautiful Black woman. I mean, I think we're the prettiest in the world. We have the Black women are the most awesome. That's my opinion, all right? That's just my take on it. But not only did what I captured by her persona, but her messaging was so uplifting and so empowering. And I'm not sure if she knew that the impact she was having, but she certainly was. And I would sometimes watch her wall and see how folks respond to her. I'm like, this lady here got something going on, something very special. And when I first connected with her, I said, the team, you got to just hear her voice. They didn't see her or not. They said, just check out her voice and tell me what you feel by hearing her voice. And it was an agreement across the board when we heard your voice for the first time. And here we are, how many episodes later on, and look how much you're blooming and blossoming, and still going on to the next level and the next level. So again, it's a blessing, really, to be part of this whole team. And over the last 3 years, 2.5 years, 3 years, folks have come and have gone. And the hope is that they would have gone with something that was tangible and something that they could actually implement in their lives to impact other lives, wherever that is, wherever they go. But I'm truly thankful. Marsha had made a mark, of course. And again, my hope is that you will just keep progressing, and the show goes on, as they say. The show goes on, right? So the show goes on, and new chapters, it makes new faces, and it's all a part of the process. But it will get bigger and brighter, and more lives will be impacted. And that's, at the end of the day, that is about lives being impacted, in a powerful way. So I'm excited.
What I'd like to share. Oh, I'm sorry, Keith. I thought you were done. Go on.
Yeah, I'm excited for what's about to unfold as we look in the future.
Yes, I want to share something that I learned from watching Downton Abbey. I don't just watch TV to watch TV. I watch TV to learn. There was a part in Downton Abbey where they're two. The way the show operates is that women don't get to inherit. So I think it was Mary, the oldest child. The person who she was being set to marry died on the Titanic. Air quotes, right? Because I don't think it was, I don't think it was real. It was real. I think they were just start using that to start the story. That's my understanding anyway. But he died on the air quotes Titanic. And everybody was in a tizzy, like, oh my gosh, so who's going to inherit then? Because they don't get to choose who inherits, right? Now they found out that the person who was going to inherit was this quote unquote regular lawyer. And in those times, being a worker wasn't royal, I guess, or
prestigious.
Prestigious or whatever. If in their world, you're a regular person, right? And when they met, eventually they fell in love. But then there were just so many breakdowns that would happen. Like there's so many disruption in their. I'm sorry if you hear the noise in my background. I think I'm hearing like a bike. But yeah, it was just like a tension. It's like it wasn't happening. It was something that was just not gelling, right? But you could tell that they loved each other. And as a viewer watching, I'm like, I hope it works out for them. Like you want it to work out for them, you know? And then something happened where they separated and the guy went on to marry someone else. And I'm getting somewhere. He went on to marry someone else. During the period when he was engaged to this other woman, I don't remember her name. How sad, huh? I don't remember her name, but when he was engaged to this person, during that period, the main family where the Downton Abbey main family, of which Mary is the daughter, they found that they invested in some railway project that did not work out. And so the family was going broke. So they found that the family was going to be going broke. When the guy who was then so he was still set to inherit, even though they weren't planning on married, even though he was engaged to somebody else, right? He was still the person to inherit. The person who he was engaged to also eventually passed. And then her father passed as well. After which Mary, and his name was Matthew, reconnected. And their love came back into play, right? What saved the family financially was that the fiance that he had when that breakdown happened, the fiance that he had, whose father died, left him his inheritance because his daughter was no longer here. It's now that inheritance that saved the family, right? So this is. I sat there and I was watching it and I was like, my God. So like for me, I learned that God will create breakdowns or create change. Every change is for reasons. So if he had not broken up with her and went to get engaged to somebody else, he would have remained in the family. And I'm not saying there couldn't have been other opportunities to save the family, but he would have remained in the family and they would have gone broke. But they had to separate. Then he went to get engaged to somebody else. That person allowed him to get an inheritance, which he was then able to bring back to the union to save the family. I'm saying all of this to say, I don't know what is happening here, but I trust God's plan. And sometimes I feel tempted to go back into my nature of double checking, you're sure, you know, but this time I say to myself, I'm going to respect and I'm going to honor. And I'm not going to go into the personal thing. I'm going to let God do what he does. And whatever his desire is what the outcome will be. And I trust it. Marsha, I don't say goodbyes and I don't feel like I'm telling you goodbye because we talk outside of this. So for those who see us here, they may think this is the only space within which we know each other. But it is not. So for me, I am just happy that you know and you're confident that this is what you want to do. That for me is what I love, because no one should do what they don't love. When I met you, Jesse, it was oh my gosh. I wasn't sure how it was going to go because Keith, well, whoever knows me knows I'm a bit I don't know if it's a phobia. I'm a bit fearful of people. Like I'm fearful of people. Yeah. Have a real fear. And so every time I'm supposed to meet somebody new, it's pressure. You know, it's a lot that I go through. So I'm almost sure I remember when Keith was telling me, I'm like, okay, whatever you say. Yes, we'll see. You know, but then the moment I met you, there was this really amazing. You have remained so consistent. I thank you for that. I never have to wonder what you were thinking. and that's
Because
refreshing
it
for
shows
me.
on my face.
Yeah, there's a, and
You
I think
guys
we
know it shows
connected.
right on my face.
Yes, and I think we connected on some of our thoughts and some of the things that we do, but I love transparency. I love when I feel like I connect with what someone is feeling. And I've also learned during this season, because we know another season's coming, but during this season, one of the things that I've learned is being comfortable making others uncomfortable, because that's my job. It's a painful process. It is such, I've really had to pray and say, God, could you take this from me? Could you make me bring pleasure instead of pain? Because I feel like being a coach, I bring a lot of pain, because only pain will bring about the changes required for purpose to come forth. And there was a time when I'd apologized for it. And because I have to honor God, I can't do that anymore. I decided that I'm going to honor God overall. And I learned that in honoring God overall, I'm going to piss man off. But I'd rather upset man than God, if that makes sense. So as you experience my gift, it is my hope that it draws you closer to your highest expression of self, and that it draws you towards divine purpose. And so I just say thank you to God when I am effective, or when he's effective through me, or when he's effective through anyone that's connected with me. So Marsha, we say goodbye to you from here for now, and we trust, maybe you're or Matthew, you're going to go marry someone and come back with a whole lot of money. But whatever it is, be blessed, be happy. Yeah, I can't hear him, but yeah, whatever it is, joy, peace, blessings, all of that good stuff. That's all I'd like to say.
Thank you guys.
Yes.
Listen,
and we've written a poem for you that I think Jess will share at the end.
At the end, okay.
Let me know.
Okay, wow, guys,
Yes.
I did not know this. Well, okay.
I know.
I am not a long talker, and I've said this in several spaces, even though I am a broadcaster. And let me start with the audience. Let me just say that the UME radio audience is absolutely phenomenal. They keep coming back week after week, not just for weekends, but they come back for LTR. They've been back for the kids show, and they've been back in different countries. I remember us really taking stock of the countries that we've been impacting, and the numbers began to grow until now we're in like over 160 something countries. Our YouTube just hit 4,000 something. And so I know that the audience, they are already a part of our family, and they have been impacted. What it is that we do, you guys tell us the direction that we go, because our mission is really to empower 1 million people. And so I want to say thank you guys for the laughs, for the comments, for the tears, even for the times when you weren't pleased and you mentioned that in the comments, for the times when it was just papers up in the air and all of that, absolutely not just entertaining, but exciting. I have spoken with viewers that have said like, oh my gosh, I feel like I know the entire UME radio team. Like I know Jesse, and I know Coach, and I know Keith, and I know Lady Misty, and things like that. And it's intentional. We want you to be comfortable around us in what we do, how we do what we do, because it's a family setting. Yes, professional, but we're here to educate and to motivate and to inspire. Now to the team, wow, it has been a really good growth process for me. If anyone knows me outside of UME radio and can actually track my progress, you would probably be watching at this point and saying, oh my gosh. And I really and truly cannot take the credit for this growth and development. I have to give it up, especially to Coach Raquel, who has been with me through thick and thin. Oh my God, when I was scared, like, can I do this? I'm not sure if I can do this. Are you, it was just really, really cool. And to be embraced by Keith, Lady Misty, meeting Jesse, who's like, Jesse. Yeah, it's just really been a season of, I feel empowered. I feel like I'm searching for words, but it's a good feeling. It's a warm feeling that I have even right now. Just to think that I know these persons on the team and even our clients, that come in from time to time. Apostle Dr. Faith Walters, Dr. Wanda Thomas, Courtney Morrison, all of those persons. It's like a whole community of people that are just motivated to climb and to soar. To be a part of this family, this network. It's truly a privilege, because there's so much to learn, so much to evolve into. And I truly believe, and I say this in every setting, that the best is yet to come. I am no seer or prophet or anything like that, but you just know a good thing when you see it, and when God's hands is on it and how it's going to evolve in the future. So even if you're watching this for the very first time, know that you are locked into a station. If you're listening, whether on any one of the platforms or on UME Radio itself, know that you are locked into a station that is there to grow with you, to go with you, and not just for listening purposes, but they add value. So even when you hear us talk about the spotlights and different things, I want you to think about your own personal development and how you want to grow and position yourself. Check out our websites. There's so much that we offer, and so much that that can add value to who you are as a person. Not just a person, but especially faith-based, because this is a faith-based station. Invest your time, invest your substance, throw yourself into it, and the results only speaks for themselves. We have had so many testimonials. I think like last month or so, we're saying, listen, we're going to have to start compiling all the comments we've gotten, especially for those who have written into the station with issues and problems, and they've responded by saying, oh my gosh, you've helped me. We've had guests that have come on and they've offered their services to help people. What more anybody ask for? What more can anybody really say? But all I can say is thank God for UME Radio. So even as I transition into another season, I still my app will not be leaving my phone. Thank you very much. We'll be visiting the website. We'll be having conversations still. Absolutely love the journey. And like Coach says, it's not goodbye. It's actually see you later. More likely. Mm-hmm. So these are my few words. These are my few words. And thank you all. And goodbye. Love you guys.
All the best, my darling. All the best.
Yes. Yeah. Woo, okay.
I just want to say one more thing before I wrap up. I don't know if you heard this, Coach, and I said it halfway through the show or something like that, that I felt that the word, because every year I kind of, New Year, I have a new word kind of thing, and for whatever reason, I know word elevates. Yeah, and I did that last year. Elevated, got my butt out to where I was. But for whatever reason, I feel like right now, even though it's not the new year yet, I feel like it is the beginning. This is a new year, a new time. Yes. And I don't want to just say that for Marsha, but I feel that on a personal level and just everything that's going on, I think a lot of people in this month of September, I think the word right now is renew. Okay. And renew, whether your values, renew your goals, renew your businesses, renew your mindset, renew whatever that was holding you prior to September, and have this be your start, your new year. And I think we have a comment from Les Abel that says, "All the best to you, Marsha. May God guide and guard all your steps. God's blessings, my dear."
Oh,
And Les
thank you,
Abel
sir.
is
Absolutely.
a regular viewer. She's mama. She's my
Oh,
mama.
yes.
I really believe in God's doing. I want to tell you a little about my September. Is it September? No, it was July. Since July, I don't know if you've been on my Facebook page, but I can tell you this: since July, and July was when I went through this. A couple of months before July, I felt myself going through this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I remember one day I had to call Marsha. I felt like I was going to lose my mind. Remember, Marsha? I felt like I was bawling. I looked a mess. My house was a mess. I felt suicidal. I felt like I was losing my mind because I was caught between what is happening, decisions I'm to make, what am I supposed to do, da 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 da. But in the midst of it, and for some people may think it's the peace. No, that is the beauty of it, but it wasn't. It was that I was going through. That was it. Yes. In the midst of it is when I learned how to fast. It was in the midst of it that I learned how to pray. It was in the midst of it that I learned commitment and working with people. And Keith, I wanted to say thank you. I can't say it enough. I remember there are times as Keith and I worked together to build this station over the years. I've quit many times, and I would quit and keep working, and I'd quit and start having new conversations. And in my head, I've quit. But some unique things would happen in those moments of struggling for me. I remember there were times he and I would be in the middle of a disagreement, a fight, argument, whatever you want to call it, and we start praying. There was nothing else to do but pray. Right, Keith?
Yeah.
I remember I've gone through times when I go to Keith to quit and different words. I go to him to complain about him and to quit. And different words came out of my mouth. I felt like, is it Balaam, the blind man on the donkey? That's how I felt. Like I was thinking one thing, but it wouldn't come out of my mouth. And I would be like, no, Keith, that's not what I'm trying to say. Why is it my words are changing? When I spoke, what I said, it was not what came out. It was something completely different. But it's in those moments that I learned that this was purpose. No matter how it looked, no matter how it felt, no matter what was happening, but the personal me was fighting with the soul of me, the part of me that wanted to do God, to serve God, was fighting with the part of me that wanted it my way. It was those things that led to me purchasing certain books and started reading certain things, and it was those things that helped me through it. And I learned that it's not the thing that doesn't have struggle. It's the thing that through the struggles build me and grow me and groom me. So by the time I got to this place, let me tell you something. I can barely talk. And Marsha, I want to thank you because I could not have moved from there to here without you. I'm telling you, it's like I felt like it was so big to move, to relocate again. It was so big in my, and I had made it such a big thing that it was bigger than me. And I'm telling you, it's the easiest relocation I've ever done. And thank you, Marsha, because you got the people. I mean, I think I just abandoned my own ship at one point. And you just took it on for me. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for that but I'll tell you, since I've been here and I'm where I'm supposed to be, I cannot explain to you the miracles of God. I am so grateful. Oh my God. The clock on the wall, the quotes on the wall, the I can't explain it. There is a peace. There is a, oh my God, I can't explain it. So wherever it takes you, I'm learning that you can actually have relationships that don't let your heart constrict. For a long time, I thought love was when my heart tightened. You know, like I meet someone and my heart is like tightening with them, you know, it's tightening and like, yeah, I'm feeling it, you know, but I'm learning as I learn to love myself that loving is freedom. It's when I'm feeling the most free that I'm in the safest space. It's when I'm in when I feel the most free to be, free to be in my authenticity. One of the things I'm also learning, and I'm going to stop because I can go on forever. One of the things I'm learning is that my girlfriend says this song, it's the easy silence that you give to me, or something like that. Althea, man, God bless her. It's not the work that is supposed to be easy. It's the easy silence. It's the easy peace. It's the inside. It's the knowing that, you know. So as I listen to you all speak, I know this is God, because if it wasn't, I would have destroyed it. You know, in my humanity, because I've tried. You know what I mean? What I'm proud of me for is that I've learned, and and what I'm learning is not to sacrifice the purpose, because the purpose brings disruption and it disrupts patterns, and it does all of those things. But I can't choose me over it. I can't choose comfort over it. I can't say, okay, I'm not going to say something because, you know, like, no. And if the rest, God will handle. So I hope I'm making sense, but I'm learning that the only place to find peace for me is in divine purpose and watching God work. It's not about, I've learned never to look at people, and I'm no longer doing that. People are not my business. I focus directly on God. Let him do what he does. And in everything in my life, I just watch him doing everything. Everything is him, because he is my value system. He is my value system. I don't ask him what to do. I ask myself, what is he demonstrating that I'm supposed to do? Because he's talking to me every second, every minute, every day. I don't need to go to him to find anything, because he speaks so loudly in front of me. And I'm so grateful that he will show me up. Like I said to him, embarrass me. Show me up when I'm overlooking what he's saying to me to do my own thing. So my hope for you, well, I know, I'm confident, because I know this is God. All of this is God. So I'm confident that you're going to achieve, you're on your journey to the highest expression of self. And this is just a small part of it. Yeah.
Decisions.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Well, you know, it is what it is. You know, yeah, it's important to have a voice and to find your voice. Again, that is the start of power empowerment. So, yes. You think as we look to empower others, we ourselves have to be empowered. And have to accept empowerment and knowing it's empowerment happening, and move towards empowerment, because that's how we're going to be more effective in our empowering people. They see that we also empowered, and we're not trying to have a layover thing over the real thing, but it's a real empowerment that when we do speak and exhibit that, it comes to our voice and our being and our presence and everything that we do, that this person is for real. And of course, that's the idea. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
true.
Great
That's
stuff.
so true. We love you guys. We love you, Marsha. And with closing a season to start a new chapter, we'd like to share a poem with you. And the title is called Sweet Transformation. As we watch Marsha J go on to grow, we want to share with her this letter from all of us at UME Radio. We're going to have it pulled up.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Y'all are determined to make me cry today, right?
Yes, that was the goal. That was the goal.
Don't cry for me. Shed our tears.
There we
You
go.
will always be. And when I cry, no. You know, I never get the words, but I love the song.
Yes.
Don't cry for me.
Thank you, Keith.
Thanks, Keith, for your rendition. That reminded me of something I saw on social media when it comes to singing and R&B and stuff like that. It was kind of cool. Gosh.
I should have my sax stop playing for you, Marsha. I should be playing you out, just playing
you
away
do
this.
you have your sax?
Oh,
you have it in a car?
I should have been playing you out this morning.
I know.
You
And I love when you play
should.
the saxophone. Come on.
It could have been, yeah.
Don't worry. At the wedding, I'll make sure I bring that. Wait, no.
Okay. So we have the poem up here, and I will read it off. Okay. So it's hello rock, 'tis I the coral. The sea told me you wanted to play, but you've remained stone cold, and I grow until I'm old. I change and you remain the same. Hello coral, 'tis I the rock. Yes, I requested to play. I'm tired of being dull and cold. I want to grow like you until I'm old. No longer do I want to remain the same. Change transforms all folk. It delivers wisdom and grace, coral spoke. When you risk, you'll radiate beauty like me. Then the rock took the dare, grains of aged soil vanquished somewhere to a secret place within the coral reef. And the author is by Mia Malone Jennings from her poetry book Whispers of Gold.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Very profound, very deep. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Wow.
You're so welcome. Wow. You are so welcome. So our time was right. It lasted and was beautiful. And we wish you all the best. We know you'll do wonderful. So go on, get to it, and we'll let you know there's only joy. There's no sorrow. For purpose is why we do what we do. And you leaving is a part of that too. For wherever you go, God be our nest egg. Our deeds will forever be connected. And as we draw the curtains down on this season, we'll let you guys know that we'll be having a little hiatus for a little while, but when we come back, we have some awesome, amazing changes to our show. We'll be having new segments, new hosts, new features, and all to empower and inspire you. So stay tuned for all the updates. We are so excited. It is hard to keep it a secret, but timing is important. And up on the screen here, we got a little sneak peek. There's a little sneak peek of what is coming up in our next new season, guys. And this ain't goodbye. This see you later, Marsha. This is just see you later. You do
totally
you.
Agree.
You be beautiful. You blossom in whatever you want to do, in whatever it is. And I love you. Our viewers, our listeners, our subscribers all love you. We're going to stay connected. There. I'll make my way to Jamaica and stay at your house. Or
Yes,
Raquel's
please.
house.
Yes, ma'am.
Once
You're
COVID
welcome
is,
anytime.
can COVID be done so we could travel?
I know.
Passports
This should
ready.
be in the travel segment. Yes, I agree with you.
Yes. Once
I agree
Jamaica's
with you.
all good and situated, I'm coming down and we'll meet up.
Agreed.
I think I'll be back.
Agreed. Well, thank you all so much for joining us on today's episode, or the final episode of Weekends with Marsha J and Jesse. This is our final season as well, and we really do appreciate you, and we thank you for your company. We thank you for not shacking up with us, but you have already subscribed. And if this subscription has been good to you, go ahead, bring on 5 more friends and tell them to bring 5 more friends, because in this community, it is where we inspire, motivate, and educate. So see you around. See you next time. God bless you. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Weekends on UME Radio. Get the UME Radio app.
Are you ready for the weekend?
Oh, yes, girl. Get your cup of tea and mic check, 1, 2. I am so ready.
To inspire, motivate, and educate. Weekends on UME Radio. The sun is up and so are we.
News, interviews, hot topics. Connect with us. Let us know what's on your mind. Follow, comment, subscribe.
We're everywhere. UME Radio app, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, iTunes, TuneIn, and all other digital platforms. Email us info@umeradio.com. On WhatsApp, 201-503-6731. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, all at UME Radio. Follow me, Jesse, on Instagram at ink.jess, that's ink.jess, and on Facebook at Jesselyn Abel, that's JESSELYNE Abel, ABEL.
And follow me, Marsha J, on all social media platforms at official Marsha J. Or you can just check out marshajnow.com.
Weekends on UME Radio with Marsha J and Jesse.
Amplifying the voice of positive influencers.
UME Radio. Positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.